And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Fox Tuesday. It's a night of unforgettable drama. First, a new mystery unravels on murder in a small town.
Let's find him.
Suspects on foot. Send all units.
Then, a new episode of TV's most addictive medical drama, Doc.
You're reviewing my cases?
I will know everything that goes on in my hospital.
I'm not going anywhere.
Tuesday on Fox 20.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
Sponsored by Armstrong Pharmaceuticals.
Progressive presents a testimonial of sorts.
Hey, slow down!
Oh yeah? Well, you drive like my grandma. She's a very attentive and courteous driver who wears a seatbelt and always uses her turn signals. She's also a talented painter and has very low cholesterol. Not that that has anything to do with her driving, just thought a more complete picture of who she is might be interesting. Anyway, have a nice day.
Safe driver? Get Snapshot from Progressive and get a personalized rate based on how you drive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Peace in the Middle East, you have to wonder. Also, violence still on the streets in Montgomery, Alabama. Man found dead on Dexter Avenue. Anybody surprised by that, though it's awful. And we've got a few other odds and ends to get to, but to begin the show today, I would like to, read a thing I have written over the weekend. Wrote it yesterday afternoon. Just get right into it. They, what do you mean by they, Joey? They are convinced that whatever may be wrong with the world, it cannot be themselves. Someone else must be to blame for every evil. They have no feelings of fear, guilt, or awe. They think from the very outset of God's duties to them, not their duties to him. And God's duties to them are conceived not in terms of salvation, but in purely secular terms: Social Security, prevention of war, a higher standard of living. That's C.S. Lewis. One of the more beautiful aspects of the gospel of Jesus Christ is how the true paradox of the God-man, including the paradoxical transfiguration of the cross, resolves the false dilemmas of men, in time and outside time, for all time, as the cornerstone of God's good creation and the liberation of man. Try as they may, men can never outwit the God who gave them their wits. Men cannot find liberty in anything but the will of the one who gave them their liberty by dying for it. How foolish of men and fallen angels to falsely believe that their freedom could be used to supplant the fountainhead of their liberty. Yet to this day, the fallen continue concocting their clever schemes as they rebel in the name of liberty and sink further into bondage. How many times did Jesus escape the traps laid by the corrupt religious authorities and accusers of his day, including the snare of death on the cross? How many times did the disciples fall short, from the leader Simon Peter to the traitor Judas Iscariot? Time and again, Christ's contemporaries missed the mark of his preachings and teachings just as many today aim awry. I certainly have. For all the miracles, wonders, and progress, the history of Christendom is also a history of missed marks, misunderstandings, misuses, and manglings of the word. Consider that even Jesus' teachings regarding the poor have been twisted to this day to justify theft, greed, envy, covetousness, and a false faith in the power of men to fulfill God's duties to the people through secular salves and arbitrary laws. How many modern reformers have called for liberation, emancipation, by political means while ignoring the people's duties to God? How many clever fools have put their hope in heaven on earth rather than in Christ? How many supposedly free men pursue their freedom only by curtailing the freedom of others? How many say they are free only because they have made other men their serfs, slaves, and subjects? How many say they are free as they follow their own whims rather than God's will? Yet the worst are those that know they are full of false dilemmas. For example, take heed of the accusers for the poor, who only care for the poor as a means to their own ends. From the Gospel of John, 6 days before the Passover, Jesus came to Bethany, where Lazarus lived, whom Jesus had raised from the dead. Here a dinner was given in Jesus' honor. Martha served, while Lazarus was among those reclining at the table with him. Then Mary took about a pint of pure nard, an expensive perfume. She poured it on Jesus' feet and wiped his feet with her hair, and the house was filled with the fragrance of the perfume. But one of his disciples, Judas Iscariot, who was later to betray him, objected. Why wasn't this perfume sold and the money given to the poor? It was worth a year's wages. He did not say this because he cared about the poor, but because he was a thief. As keeper of the money bag, he used to help himself to what was put into it. Leave her alone, Jesus replied. It was intended that she would save this perfume for the day of my burial. You will always have the poor among you, but you will not always have me. How many false accusers for the poor, on behalf of the poor, exist today for their own enrichment? How many who claim to serve the least of these have their hand in the money box, ready to accuse even God himself on behalf of the poor for being negligent in his duties? How many have deformed charity into dependency? How many have warped compassion into control? How many have perverted Christ's advocacy for the poor into traitorous accusation? No doubt, too many. And though I will not accuse anyone in particular of this path to sin, I'm sure you have someone in mind, possibly even yourself. No doubt this is not the only path to sin. Indeed, I suspect all roads, save one, lead to sin and death in one way or another. Left to their own devices, men always fall short. Left to justify their own freedom by means of their freedom alone, men find only false dilemmas they always fail to answer. By obeying the will of the Father and pouring out his love through his suffering and death on the cross, Christ's perfect freedom stands in stark contrast to men's incorrigible abuse of their God-given liberty, while upholding and redeeming the gift of liberty to man. Only the true paradox of the God-man could resolve the false dilemmas of men, setting men free from their destructive whims by teaching them to obey and fulfill their duties to him.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Big news! Phillips Dunn Animal Hospital has a new name. But don't worry, everything you love is still the same. Now they're Pike Road Animal Hospital, still at 5148 Troy Highway. Still the same great team you've trusted for years. Same friendly faces, same expert care, just a new name, and still offering boarding, grooming, and doggy daycare. Pike Road Animal Hospital, formerly Phillips Dunn Animal Hospital. New name, same heart. Compassion you know, care that you trust.
New CBS Tonight.
All right, people, all hands on deck.
FBI is back.
I don't really recognize the world anymore. My team saw things, survived things.
There's something else going on here. Something bigger.
FBI, don't move!
I know what kind of people you are, and I'm not giving up. We're FBI, and we still have a job to do to protect people.
Let's move. FBI tonight at 8 p.m. on WAKA.
This is David Ernest from the Health and Wealth Show, and if you can hear this, we want to come see you.
You heard right!
David Ernest and the crew from the Health and Wealth Show want to come to your town just to say hello. All you have to do is let them know who you are and where you are. It's as simple as that.
It can't be that simple.
Oh, yes, it is.
What do we have to do?
Write your name on the back of a $20 bill. Then, sorry, that's the wrong offer. If you would like David Ernest and the crew from the Health and Wealth Show to come visit you, call toll-free 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE. Tell us your name. Tell us where you are. Tell us your phone number. And maybe we'll come see you. If that method is not to your liking, get on Facebook. Go to Ernest Financial, Montgomery, Alabama. Click on the page. Then click on the pinned post at the top, and there's all the information you need. David Ernest wants to come see you. Brought to you by Ernest Financial, LLC, serving the community for over 40 years.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Welcome back. And I'm your host, Joey Clark. In the studio with me today, we have Troy Carrico and Elle Milliner rejoining the show. How you two gentlemen doing today?
Out freaking standing.
Yeah, life's good.
Everything's great, man.
Life good for you, Elle?
Is going well. I cannot complain.
Now, as I saw you first reported on Facebook, when we look at our own city, they've another man found dead in the streets of downtown.
Yeah, man, another one. I believe this guy was stabbed is what I heard from through rumors, but there was a guy who was arrested for capital murder like a day or two ago, but the news hasn't released that he was connected to that slaughter.
Really?
Right. So.
Okay. And they did arrest one, all they said was juvenile for the shooting downtown last week.
That's right.
Didn't reveal his identity, but showed a video from the waist down of the arrest being made. And it's just another incident in Montgomery, Alabama. And are we numb to this? Like, it's one thing when it's the mass shooting that has the video and everybody's having a good time and it kind of ruins what people thought was going to be a good weekend. But then I don't want to lose the thread when it's like one or two shot or stabbed over the weekend, one or two shot or stabbed, and it weekend after weekend after weekend.
It's a pattern. Yeah, right, it's a pattern. Yeah. So yeah, you mentioned, are we numb to it? And I do believe that to a certain extent, people are numb to it. I think that people within those communities that see it all the time, happen to their loved ones, their brother, their sister, their mother, dad, they get numb to it. They get desensitized. And now you're seeing the city at large becoming more desensitized to it because it's happening so much everywhere. Because the narrative was for the last 4 or 5 years, downtown is safe. Yeah. Nothing happens downtown. Right. Come on down, spend your money. You're safe down here. And now we've had 3 homicides in a week.
Right. So you bring up a really good point, Elle. And I believe, I wouldn't say numb or callous. I think that there's a fatalistic almost approach, a self-fulfilling prophecy that this is going to happen. And it's just part of what we are because the government can't police it. And it's now rampant in society here. And I just think that that's going to have to, it starts from the top down, honestly. Well, actually, it starts from the bottom up. But let's be honest. The current administration in Montgomery is ill-equipped to handle anything going on right now.
Well, and I think you need to give the people who are trying to build from the bottom up, and I still maintain that's the vast majority of people. We got a lot of problems, but the vast majority of folks are doing the right stuff. You got to give those people, the vast majority, room to breathe and not have the things they're building. And that's the thing with what happened downtown. is it reminded me of what I've seen time and time again in this town, of just in a microcosm. Somebody opens a new business, say it's a restaurant, and people can drink a little beer and liquor and wine, but enjoy themselves and have a good time, and it's the hottest new spot, and everybody's showing up, and all of a sudden somebody shoots up the place, and that place is done.
Yep.
And you see that time and time again. You got to wonder, like, oh, we got this brand new hookah bar. And by the way, it's a $35 cover charge. There's a dress code. There's an age limit. Like, or we're not going to let. It's like, why putting on these rules to keep in particular young folks out? It seems like everybody knows this is an issue. And so if the folks in the grassroots are doing it, where's the help from the leadership? Where's the help from the top?
That's right, because you do see these nightclubs, these bars, these lounges have to implement these rules, right? These dress codes or age limits, and the people who are wanting to come, they say, "Oh, why are they trying to target certain demographic of people?" Well, those people are the ones who are causing the ruckus.
70% of crimes committed by a certain demographic age group. And thing, I mean, I hate saying that, but the facts are the facts.
Yeah.
And you're right. You have to take matters into your own hands in a lot of cases. And I believe this, El. I know you work in security. I've been in physical protection in a lot of my career with the military. And I can say this, that if you know who is a known perpetrator or type group, you have to be elevated and you have to take a different sort of approach to how you're handling that situation. And El, you've lived here all your life. I mean, Joey, you have too. How many businesses? I mean, when I came here, it was a ghost town downtown. There was nothing going on in 2015, 2016. And I just don't see how the Ravellos of the world and all these great hotels they built down here, El, what are they going to do? I mean, when someone's telling you they're cleaning blood up outside their doorstep at Ravello, that's a problem, y'all.
It is an issue, but it's also something I think can be fixed, that we shouldn't settle, and you shouldn't take the heat off of leadership.
The local, local leadership.
It's got to step up.
We have to stop looking at the state as the scapegoat to our crime right here in Montgomery, because if you look at Alabama as a whole, all right, I want people that are the naysayers. Alabama has about 700 homicides a year as a state. 35%, give or take, I did the math, it's about 35% occur in Birmingham and Montgomery alone. That's not even counting Selma, not counting Huntsville, who has 18 homicides a year. Biggest city in Alabama, less than 20 homicides a year. Let that marinate.
Yeah.
Right. So when we're looking at, they want to look at the state and say it's the state's problem. They're equipping these young people with these guns legally. That's not true. You can't be 15, 16 with a gun. It's not legal. All right. Before the permit law, it was illegal. After the permitless law, it's still illegal.
Right.
So we have to stop looking at the state and look at the local, because there are laws on the books. Panhandling law.
Yeah.
Does that get enforced?
They don't enforce.
So they're able to pick and choose which laws they want to enforce or not enforce, and then the ones that they don't enforce, and those are the ones that are causing the issues. They can just say, "Oh, well, the state has this other law over here, and that's the reason why."
And just to be clear, like, especially the folks that rush to defend the mayor, or like as the mayor starts getting blamed because he's the mayor and the leader of the city,
CEO.
This is what those folks are saying. They immediately go, well, it's the governor, the legislature didn't do enough. And it's often the same sort of liberal thing that you hear, that if we had just spent more money on healthcare or education and a little more opportunity, maybe if we do more like universal basic income pilot programs, this will stop. And, it might be if it was like the only world that existed were red states with blue cities, and the red states just won't do what the enlightened liberals in those red states want to do. But the thing is, we have blue states with blue cities, and they do all this stuff, and they spend all that money, and often case their crimes even worse.
Illinois,
well, in the case of spending money, where's that $2 million that was put into Steve Reed's fund to recruit police? There's no accounting on that. We're not getting any accounting.
No, it goes into, I talked to city council about it. It goes to a projects fund that is at the behest of the mayor's office. What the city council is requesting, correct me if I'm wrong in this, L, is they want, as they come up with the next budget, to say we want a portion of that money that's a windfall.
That's it.
Yes.
And which makes sense because a lot of the council members in their own districts have projects they'd like to fund.
That's right.
But yeah, you're right that it shouldn't just be like, oh, we missed the mark. We didn't hire enough again.
I wanna
Look
see
at
an
all this
accounting
money
on
that
it.
we get to spend on something, this, that, or the other. So again, over the weekend, a man found dead on Dexter Avenue. Not a lot of details, but as I'm looking at WAKA news, police Lieutenant Tina McGriff told WAKA that just before 5 a.m. on Saturday, they were called down there. So it must have, I'm suspecting it happened in the wee hours of the morning and night.
And I'm hearing that the victim was a guy who worked downtown.
Oh, wow.
All right. So I mean, one of the fast food restaurants downtown, I'll put it like that. And from all accounts, decent guy, not a troublemaker. The guy who allegedly did it has been a troublemaker downtown for a while, it seems. So this issue that we have with the vagrancy, right? People just walking around and doing what they want to do, basically walking in the middle of the street. That seems to be catching up to us now because the narrative has been for the last several years, these people are just down on their luck. You know, they're no harm to us. Now you're seeing not only are they getting hit by cars because they're in the highways, now you're seeing them attack people, possibly even kill somebody.
And you never know when it might happen, what might happen.
Exactly.
And it's about vigilance. It's about being consistent. Of course, I think a lot of these problems, if we, and I don't like to necessarily mention the race because I think that distracts from it. All those like say dress code and I'm talking black owned establishments where like we're trying to keep a certain element of the youth. So I would say as people starting at home try to fight a certain subculture that keeps pulling people down, I think just false beliefs, false dilemmas that keep pulling people down. You got to have the heavy hand of the law assisting in this regard. And maybe people will come to that realization themselves.
And a healthy dose of vigilantism. I pray every day, Al. I pray every day. Send them to me, and I will show the city what to do.
You know what? It's kind of funny he said that because I was talking to someone on the phone, and I was telling that person, wait until the white guys in the city start putting a couple of rounds in these people who are trying to do them harm. Let that start happening in the city of Montgomery. I bet you the reaction is going to be swift and strong because look, quote unquote, black people killing black people, that's fine. No big deal, regular life. Let white guys or white females start to do the same thing to defend themselves. You're going to have a totally different reaction from the local government.
There's a lot of people I know you do not want to step towards their car in a certain way, step towards them in a certain way, or definitely do not enter their home in a certain way.
And I'm speaking, make sure I'm clear. I'm talking about self-defense right now.
Yeah,
right.
I'm talking about black people defending themselves is no big deal. Nobody bats an eye. Let white people do the same thing and watch the reaction be totally different.
Nah, but when you said vigilante, I was like, I'm going to be very upset if you show up in tights somewhere.
I would be dressed like the Punisher.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, please don't put on like one of these Marvel.
It'll be all black with the
right. Yeah, almost like a flat jacket.
I'm joking. My thing is just, you know what, Al, you've heard this said before. I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6.
That's right,
and that's the way the world works. And what it's going to take, and there would be blowback against if I hypothetically. But let me share a story with you, Al. When I first moved here, 2015. I'm up at the Winn-Dixie at the Country Club Plaza up there. I'm walking in. I just got done working out, so I left my weapon in the vehicle. So I don't want some gym shorts and everything. And I hear this lady screaming over on the corner, and she's screaming, and I'm like, and I'm looking. There's a dude pulling on her, right? And people are looking out the front window of the store, and they're like, you know, looking like that. And I was like, it's getting dusk, and I was like, citizen, do you require assistance? And she said, yes. So I run over there. Dude turns around. He's got a switchblade. He goes, I'm going to cut you. I said, I'm going to shove that up your butt. And he came at me, took it into an arm lock, put him down, dislocated his shoulder for him. When I took him down, choked him out. The entire store comes running out of there, clapping, going, yes, he's been here for weeks and we can't get rid of him. We've called the police. They said, you can't do anything unless he does something. Police finally roll up. And I'm talking to the police. I said, I just moved here. I go, what's up with you guys? He goes, we can't. He goes, we don't we can't proactively police unless something's happened. Well, that's too damn late.
That's
man.
right.
Right.
Yes.
So then I had another incident at a Mexican restaurant, but that's a different story. But my point is, if I have to do that, then there's something wrong.
No, it is truly like it's a hero's act for you to like take somebody who's harassing people, threatening you directly, and put the guy in his place. And often it doesn't take that much in order to put somebody like that.
I don't look for trouble, but I certainly will not. I will not. Instead of doing this crap with your phone trying to video, I'm going to go knock somebody ass out.
And I'm only half joking here. I'm starting to suspect though you're like the real life Ghost Rider. Like with the was that Nick Cage movie with the fiery skull and the motorcycle?
He's one of my favorite Marvel characters.
Sometimes
but he sold his soul to the devil, and I that's not me, man.
Okay, good. I
sold my soul to Jesus Christ.
It kind of fits,
I'm the anti Ghost Rider.
But it kind of fits your aesthetic to a certain degree. I can see you enjoying that.
Since I'm losing most of my hair, it'd be a fire just coming out of my head. That's perfect.
Before I go to some phone calls here, 272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting and their River Region Contracting Todd Clark and the team there are ready to help you with that roof of yours. And it could be the help you need is just a basic inspection. So you got peace of mind that your roof's all right.
Rainy season's coming too, buddy. It's coming up.
It is. A lot of farmers complain about the drought.
I know. Hey, did you know though, we're up 7 inches for Montgomery County for the year, but it's been dry. But the rains are coming. You better get that roof looked at.
Whether it's a metal roof or a shingle asphalt roof, both need to be inspected on a regular basis. And the good news is their inspections are always free there at River Region Contracting, as are their estimates. So they find an issue, they'll write up that estimate for free. And their insurance specialists, so they can walk you through that insurance claims process, make it a swift and easy experience. Y'all check them out today. Again, that's Todd Clark and River Region Contracting, 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell them that Joey, that fella on the radio, sent you. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's us?
Soldier Boy.
What's up, man?
Excuse me, got too much air in my breath, in my throat.
Okay.
First thing is that gentleman that got killed this weekend. There was also a child that was injured or stabbed or shot at, and he's in critical condition. Did you hear about that one? There's a minor. It said a minor and an adult.
Yeah, that one. That was at like 11:20.
Yeah, 11:18.
Yeah, then the other guy was like 11:50, something like that, like 30 minutes apart, 40 minutes apart.
And like you were, and you had an interesting story about the Winn-Dixie situation. Your Mexican restaurant's probably the same way. About 6 months ago, I always keep my handgun in my car on my right seat of my side of my seat of my car. So I'm at a stoplight. You got to be careful at stoplights because that's when people try to make a move on you. I come to a stoplight downtown. I won't mention what street, but a gentleman comes up to me and knocks on the window. And I said, "Yeah, can I help you?" And he goes, "I need $100." I said, "Well, I don't carry cash on me because I never do. I always have a credit card, I said, "I don't have it." You don't understand. He says, "I need $100 or else." I said, "Let me look at my wallet. Maybe it's there." See, my wallet's on the right side of my hip, the same place where my gun is. I pulled my gun up and I said, "Yeah, I got my $100 right here." And I said, "You start running now." I never seen somebody run so fast in his freaking life.
Good for you.
Yeah, because he didn't understand anything. But you got to be careful when you're at stoplights and stop signs because that's when people.
Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt you. Another effective way to do that? You pull your gun and say, "Give me your money. I need some money."
Well, I almost wanted to open the door and take his legs out and knees.
I'm sorry. Bullies are,
No, and as we said earlier, that guy was lucky. There's some folks you approach their car that way, they're not going to talk.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too. But you were saying, a friend of mine told me that the police department were down to 150 police officers on the street, and we're supposed to have 500. How do you expect crime not to be down? And this kid that they're not releasing his name or his age on this shooting. How do you feel about that?
Man, I personally can't stand that.
I think he's going to act like an adult. You're going to shoot like an adult. You're going to get charged like an adult. Your name and public embarrassment needs to step up.
Absolutely. There's a situation out of Virginia or North Carolina somewhere. A 9-year-old took a knife to school, made threats to a few students. they've got this picture all over the place.
Depends on the state.
So I'm definitely with you. I think that once you're definitely 15, 14, if you're doing adult crimes, you get treated like adult when it comes to punishment.
Yeah, they made it sound like they wanted to protect him because he's a little baby. No. He was man enough to pull that trigger.
That's right.
Right.
Okay. And something tells me they said there's going to be more arrests coming along. I guarantee you, the DA is probably talking to him. He's singing like a bird.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, he's gonna try to protect his butt, and he doesn't care. And they're out in the streets right now. There was the fugitive task force they have. Is it the FBI? Not the FBI, but
U.S. Marshals.
U.S. Marshals are looking for him or them or the multiple people involved in this shooting, and they're going to find them. And it won't take long. You know what's amazing though is now how they track people down digitally. Facebook, your credit card, your checks,
cell phones.
Isn't it amazing? I mean, you're leaving footprints everywhere.
There's a system you've heard about called Palantir. Some of the law enforcement has it. I don't think Montgomery has it, but some of the state agencies would, maybe ALEA. It's a nexus builder, and it can take any input of any signal or from a smartwatch to a phone to a registered vehicle to a IP address to a physical address, and it does all this nexus building, which is connected and talked to and all this stuff. It's amazing what you can do.
And by the way, the Palantir systems are so popular is because they're able to do it in a discreet way that has full auditing of who actually requests the information, and it can't just go out to everybody. Like it's not like all that information that you get is just readily available. You have to have the right credentials every step of the way. It's very clear who's accessing.
You have to have a dongle. And let me tell you how much it costs. It costs about $1 million for about 12 dongles. I know that because we bought them at the Corps of Engineers. Very expensive, but very effective. But yeah.
All you need is the same search warrants that they used on those 6 or 7 senators. And get those signed.
Yeah, right.
I'm Lindsey Graham, and I'm the head of the judiciary. I'm mad.
But I love the way
Somebody told me that even if you turn off your cell phone, the FBI can still track your phone.
It can. It's still part of the network if it's still even off.
Even if it's powered off. So he said, if you're going to commit some kind of crime and you got a phone, you better pull your damn SIM card out. That's the only way.
Or better yet, you don't even take your phone with you.
Well,
that's true.
I appreciate it, Soldier Boy. Thank
Sorry,
you
I'm just saying.
Again, 272-9228. Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
Well, Mr. Clark.
Hey, Duke, how you doing?
Oh, pretty good, my man. I've got my little whining about Auburn football out of
boy. Oh, don't even mention it, dude.
I got it out of there early on another show this morning. I got it out there.
It was awful.
I'm good. I'm fat now.
You're fat.
All right. This young cat you got on there. I heard him last week on it. What's your name, young man?
Il Milliner.
Okay, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Don't I know you?
You might know me. I might have talked to you on another station before.
You did.
I don't know.
You did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you
okay,
remember me now.
Show. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Wait, Duke, you've been cheating on me?
Just a little bit.
No, right. That's fine. We weren't official anyway.
Got to keep it interesting, you know.
I get it.
But look here though. You asked the question earlier about if a white person shoot a black person, how would we respond? What group of people you're talking about? I mean, you're talking about the ones who, straight over hood
criminals.
In the street.
Criminals.
They're gonna talk that way or defend everything that black people do. Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about shooting criminals, people who want to do you harm.
I'm saying that. You asked the question, said how would you were saying in so many words, how would black people respond if somebody white shot or
I said that the local government would react totally different to that scenario versus how they react to blacks shooting blacks. That's what I'm saying. The reaction from the local government would be totally different.
You should ask the same question if a black person shot a white person. We had that going on recently. CRP responded to that, but
what happens pretty often in Montgomery, unfortunately.
I think people use their common sense. It's legit. Somebody tried to rob somebody that's black, and the white person shot them. He should be lied down, you know.
I would have done it to a white. I would have done it to a white person the same.
I'll give you a scenario.
Right.
I'll give you a scenario, sir. I'll give you a scenario. I'll give you a scenario. So do you recall a few years ago when the guy was robbing the Dollar General over in Pike Road?
Yeah.
Remember when that happened?
Not.
Remember he robbed the Dollar General.
So much going on.
He was running away. Yeah. There's video of this as well. He was running away. A white gentleman saw him running away, took it upon himself to try to stop the guy from running. The guy ended up turning around, was trying to shoot at the guy. So the guy shot him or shot at him, right? And everybody from the black community specifically were saying, oh, he shouldn't have been shooting that guy. He had no business trying to stop that guy and all that stuff. So we already have this as a track record to know how the reaction would be. That's why I'm able to say it.
Like I said, it depends. You know, you got a case in Georgia where these guys ran this dude down in the neighborhood because he was jogging and shot him to death, and they were found guilty of that crime. So you can use all kinds of scenarios, but what I'm saying that incident right there, what you're talking about, sir, if the guy would have been shot in the back, that would have been a different story. But he took it upon himself to play police that day, so you know, now that thing's sort of up and down on that one, on people's response to that. But I get your point that you trying to say out loud of that. We always whine if somebody black do some crime. That's what you're trying to say in so many words. But, you know, I always tell people that all lives matter. When they came out with the Black Lives Matter thing, I asked a young man one day, how do you feel about the person who got killed yesterday? He was a black, killed by another black, you know. So that's where I am, and a lot of people that I know feel the same way. But, you know,
so you
going back to the club now, your generation, along with Joey's generation, a little bit, Joe a little bit older now. So we used to have clubs called American Pie and Woodmere Terrace and all kind of clubs in Montgomery. But you can't name one club in Montgomery right now that people will feel comfortable going to, white or black. Because your generation them feel so low, young man, where, you know, the government gave you guys all the rights. And the crooks and the thieves and all the other people know the rights better than me and you. So they're going to push it to the limit. Or it's with this gun thing where the governor, we already had a right. You can carry tote. Okay. What is that to add this new thing saying it's okay to walk around in the streets, by the way, with your gun? Yeah, that's all these young thugs wanted to hear. Like I said, when they go out to East Chase, out to Pike Road, out to that new shopping center out there and post up on weekends, we see how many white citizens think that's okay.
I don't think people were. I don't think there's any more guns on the street right now in the hands of these young people than they were.
That's
10
not
years
what
ago.
I said, sir. That's not what I said. I'm talking about this new law that they.
Yeah, but you're bringing up the law to make the point about carrying guns, correct?
I'm talking about these thugs out here. What people call thugs nowadays. They walking up and down the street with these guns, intimidating people at gas stations everywhere, and these idiots will shoot your ass with that gun, okay? So let's not be stupid here. You put in the hands of these thugs that go want to shoot somebody anyway. That's what happened downtown. They were brave enough to post up right in the crowd with everybody because the law said you can take it anywhere damn near.
Well,
so
sir,
they took it out on site.
Sir, sir, who's giving these thugs these guns?
That doesn't matter.
What do you mean?
It matters because you brought it up, sir. Stand on your square.
Where they coming from?
Stand on your square.
Where they coming from? Where they coming from? How these teenagers getting these guns in their hands? Some adult giving to them, okay? I don't know what color, but somebody giving it to them.
So adults giving it to them?
They didn't steal them anywhere. They buy them off the street real cheap, sir.
Sir, they're breaking in people's cars, stealing them. They're breaking in their houses, stealing them. They're going to the gun store, breaking in the gun store, stealing them. That's how they're getting the guns. They're going to trains. When I was growing up, I had friends that used to go and steal it from the trains.
Yeah, they were doing that out in L.A. Remember here recently? I mean, it's like, are you kidding me, man? Yeah.
These dope boys go out there and fire up the guns and distribute them out there to these guys, dude. Okay.
Yeah, and what did they look like? And what did they look like?
They regular people. They
regular people. Look like how? Look like you or look like me?
Like you, but they thugs.
They look like Joey or me or you? Which one?
Well, I don't know. what color they are.
Oh, okay.
Damn, we got.
Sir, now you got to be honest. Now you got to keep it 100. You got to be real.
We're in real trouble. We got Polacks handing out
Man,
guns.
yeah,
and by the way, Duke, you kept saying like young man. Like, oh, you're like what, 37?
Dude, I'm 59 years old.
Like, dude.
Oh, you're young, dude.
I'm 37.
Well, he's 82, so you have to understand.
I'm 36. We ain't young, man.
Okay.
That young.
I got gray hairs in my beard, my guy. Sir,
that's all mine is.
I've been out in the street. Oh, we're talking over each other. I'm sorry.
Well,
you like to talk loud. Go ahead. I'm
well,
sorry.
Duke, we're out of time anyway, man. I got to hit a break.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for the call. Thank you.
272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And if you're there at Montgomery Men's Health, they can help you out. Get by there and you will feel much better. Especially if you just have the symptoms of low testosterone.
Yep.
And it could be especially like microplastics so much in the world. It really is affecting men's like the upper, like higher estrogen levels because of these environmental factors and lower testosterone levels. And men are feeling sluggish, tired, not like themselves physically and mentally. They're not sharp, and they're also like never in the mood, losing muscle mass, all these things. So if you're feeling this, get by Montgomery Men's Health. Don't act like a usual typical man of, well, I don't need the doctor.
I'll get through it.
Power through it. That's what men do.
It ain't working though.
And don't just go get a generic fix online.
No.
Instead, get with the urologists and providers there at Montgomery Men's Health. They'll tailor solutions specifically to your body and goals. It's affordable and accessible. A consultation, including blood work, is just $99 with results before you leave. Gentlemen, you only got one life. Procrastination's only going to make this worse. Call them up today at 440-3663. That's 440-3663, or visit MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. to book your appointment today. Be sure to tell them that Joey Clark fella sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Jenny King, the king of clean, delivers reliable, high-quality commercial cleaning services through a proven franchise model that empowers local business owners. Jenny King's franchise owners receive the training, support, and resources needed to succeed, while clients benefit from tailored cleaning solutions backed by a global brand. Jenny King ensures consistent results, trust, and success for everyone we serve. Go to JennyKingCleans.com and find out how we can help you. That's JennyKingCleans.com.
Jenny King, the king of clean.
Want that ride that is fun, affordable, and street legal? Check out ETG Outdoors in Montgomery. They have huge discounts on electric golf carts with many brand new units under 10 grand. New and used inventory, financing available, and they service what they sell. ETG Outdoors even provides lithium battery conversions and free delivery with purchase. Whether it's for the neighborhood, the farm, or just fun. ETG Outdoors, 7006 Vaughn Road, or online at etgoutdoors.com. Cruise smarter, drive electric. ETG Outdoors, your ride to freedom starts here.
Hello, this is Yasmin Hostin with Beauty and Beyond. We've been advertising with Blue Water Broadcasting for 10 years plus. If you would like to increase your business, use Blue Water Broadcasting radio stations. They get results.
Radio reaches over 90% of everyone in the river region. Shouldn't your ads be out there where your customers are? Call us to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
On this Columbus Day, it looks like a great October weather day ahead. Sunshine in abundance and the high temperature recovering to the low to mid 80s after a chilly start. The humidity will be low. Another jacket weather night tonight with clear skies. Overnight low temperature falls to the middle 50s. I think we're a little warmer tomorrow and Wednesday and probably Thursday. We'll say mid to upper 80s for highs, and probably upper 50s for lows at night till about Friday. By the way, I think we're dry through Friday, maybe a couple of showers Saturday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Del Rey to Publix.
Looking for insurance, or maybe you're just not satisfied with your current carrier? How does quality coverage with local service and competitive rates sound to you? The folks at Stark Agency offer just that. Whether you need insurance for your business, car, home, or life, Stark Agency can help. As an independent insurance agency with over 20 of the top insurance carriers, Stark is sure to find the perfect match for you and your loved ones. Visit their site at starkagency.com or give them a call at 334-263-5535 for a quote today.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Austin Barenko with Invista Advisors. Hey, Austin, how you doing today, man?
Well, having a great Monday, Joey. I'm actually volunteering at the fair right now. I'm in Kiwanis Club, and I was just sitting next to Doug Singleton talking about your show, actually. He was on last week, and we're having a good time at the fair.
Yeah, and folks, fair's still open. Y'all get by there. It's going to be a good time for a few more days here. Now,
last day today,
what?
so make sure you get out.
Oh,
yep.
Get out there tonight. Get out there.
That's right. That's right.
Daggum. Well, now we're talking a little off air about this, the velocity and volatility of like out of Friday into today, but explain what we've been seeing in the markets the last few days.
Yeah. So, the speed at which this market moves is a lot different than the markets that, say, our parents grew up with, where if you want to see a, multi-point swing, it could take, a week or two effectively to move up or down at this speed. Last week, the major indices lost 2 to 3% in a single day. This morning, most of those have recovered in less than half a day. And so, if you want to talk about the speed at which this market moves, it's very different now than it used to be. And a lot of times for the people that are, we call them day traders, but just in and out of the market, swiftly, this is where you can, have really big winners or really big losers. And we don't necessarily subscribe to the day trading mentality at our firm. We're more of the longer, find a good thesis that, we think is going to be a great company to hold in a 5, 10, 20 years and let, the growth of that company speak for itself. We don't get caught up in the day-to-day movement of the market being up or down, but that's really what we see right now. And you can't put a finger on what's causing this. Is it the government shutdown, or is it interest rates, or, regulation? Nobody can put a finger on the exact reason, but the thing to highlight for people is if you are in and out of the market on a daily basis and don't have a long-term thesis or plan of how to grow your asset or your liquidity, that's something we can help you with. And we look at this stuff all day long and be happy to take a look at your portfolio and help you align your investments with your long-term goals.
And folks, if you want to get that conversation going about creating that long-term plan, just call them at 387-0094. Again, that's 387-0094. Be sure to tell them you heard Austin Barenko on the radio with Joey Clark. And by the way, folks, looking forward to it. Austin will be in studio at noon tomorrow. We're going to go over a lot of stuff you learned after your recent travels.
Yeah, really looking forward to being in studio with you tomorrow, Joey. Like we were saying off air, I'm fired up. Just been in New York for the week with some really, really intelligent portfolio managers and happy to share some of that with the listeners.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to it. See you tomorrow, man.
Thanks, Joey. Bye.
Again, that's Austin Barenko with Invista Advisors.
The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Invista Advisors, registered investment advisor and separate entity from LPL Financial.
So, gentlemen, we don't have that much time left here for the rest of this hour, but I do have one throwaway story. This is from the New York Post. Doritos are getting a bold makeover with ingredient change. Seems to be all the rage. But Doritos, along with Cheetos, will get a recipe change. They're owned by PepsiCo. They'll no longer be made with artificial flavors or coloring.
Thank you, RFK. Thank you, RFK Jr.
They're removing all artificial flavors and colors from its products. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services announced in April that it would be working with industry leaders to eliminate petroleum-based dyes from the food supply by the end of the year. No, but now I wonder, are the Cool Ranch Doritos going to still be like that first one, like putting your tongue on a battery? You know, like that.
Yeah, like a 9-volt charge there.
But
yeah, you know, it seems like as time goes on, when they try to change these ingredients, the flavor just goes away. It doesn't taste the same. You know, it's nothing like those good old, you know, fatty, cholesterol causing chips. You know, I mean, it's nothing like that, man. But I commend President Trump, RFK, and the whole team for making these changes, because we do need a healthier America, man.
You know, it's more than just changing the ingredients for maybe for artificial toxins or whatever it might be. But listen, the fact that he's mandating cane sugar in lieu of fructose and a lot of sodas is going to make a huge difference in people's lives, man.
Oh, absolutely. And they're aiming to, in particular, get rid of Red 40, Yellow 5, and Yellow 6.
Yeah.
Doritos Nacho Cheese has all three of those artificial.
Of course. That's what makes it so good.
And of course, also, like when you get the like flaming hot Cheetos, who among us thought, I'm eating something good for me? In the moment, like, come on.
I don't think that's really part of the choice equation. That
when you're like 6 years old, you know, it's like, this can't be good, Dad. Can't be good, Mom.
It's staying
like,
my fingers. It's
give me
staying
more.
my fingers. I can't get it off.
Yeah. It's clearly not the best thing. And as much as I think changes at a structural systemic level are good, like having these big corporations make these changes, having the government encourage them to make those changes, all this comes back to personal responsibility.
That's right. Exactly
like,
right.
What you put in your own mouth is up to you.
Yeah.
But I bet you there's some folks out there who would figure out a way to blame somebody else.
Absolutely.
Well, there's a lawsuit. There's a potential lawsuit to be had here.
Oh, yeah, man. No, there was some daytime show blaming the Trump era and the election for being fat because of the stress.
I mean, hey, I saw a lady who said that she said something about exercise was racist or
something. I did see that. I didn't even click on it.
Insane. I mean, hey, time is racist.
Yeah.
Eating healthy, being on time is racist. I mean, look, man.
And then next week
you can always pass it off.
And then next week they'll say not exercising is racist. Like it's like, dadgummit, I'm stuck.
And the gay frogs are also fascist too and racist. Right. I'm sorry, that was a different show.
Yeah. Okay, Alex Jones.
What a joke.
My
people
favorite.
believe this crap, you know.
They've been eating the Doritos and the Cheetos, man. And that's what made them.
Frog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite Alex Jones clip is
weird,
and he's now done this tour with the new documentary on Charlie Sheen.
I've seen it.
And he had Charlie Sheen on when Charlie Sheen was going nuts, like winning, like Tiger Blood and Adonis DNA.
What do you say? He goes, I got tiger blood. You got poo-poo blood.
Right. And Charlie Sheen had said something to the effect to Alex Jones on his show. Like, well, Alex, you know, I got that medication because of a hernia I got. And Alex Jones goes, I know I've seen your hernia, Charlie. I've seen it. And it's like, what am I even listening to?
Did you touch it?
Yeah. So in this, it's good to see these guys who are canceled still have play. But then sometimes I'm like, who are our true influencers in this world?
Yeah.
I think we could maybe shoot
Hollywood
for
has
something
been neutered to a degree, if you think about it. I mean, the streaming culture with new independent studios has relegated most of these Hollywood types to irrelevance.
Oh, yeah. And you're seeing it like Tucker Carlson gets fired from Fox and he becomes the biggest podcaster right next to Joe Rogan. Don Lemon gets fired from CNN. And he's still, I guess,
Don Lemon,
gets some attention, but he's still not a big podcast.
He's not very bright.
Not a big presence. No, and you see this with a lot of these folks that have these big shows. Like you see with Chris Cuomo. Like he is on CNN. He can't find his own independent thing. He has to go,
That's right.
Jump on somebody
He's used to their corporate
sponsorship.
Yeah,
he has to have that with Jimmy Kimmel, too.
Right. And honestly, I'm at the point of, because I've had the offers to like go on Newsmax and stuff. And there's part of me that, if I did that, I would want to kick my own ass.
I think they would come with a whole different.
If I did get on one of those shows, I think I'd channel my inner Howard Beale. Be like, hey, boomers, turn it off. Go talk to your grandkids. Read a book. Like, turn it off. It's rotting your minds. Stop wasting your final days this way. What do you mean my final days? Well, that's what the actuarial tables say. Your final days.
You're living on borrowed time.
Anyway, we got to hit this top of the hour break. Second hour coming up.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. A lot of celebration today in Israel as the 20 living hostages that were still being held by the Hamas terrorist group were freed. That came also in exchange for the release of some Palestinian prisoners that were being held by Israel. And it's all raising hopes that the ruinous war might come to an end for good. Fundamental questions do remain over exactly when and how, and that is part of the discussion going on today in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt. President Trump is urging world leaders there to put what he called the old feuds to rest and seize momentum, calling the Gaza ceasefire deal the first steps toward a broader regional peace. The president is in Egypt for a global summit on Gaza's future. It's been a booming session on Wall Street after some big losses on Friday to end the week. The Dow starting the week right now, it's up by 565 points. The NASDAQ up 463. This is SRN News.
Hey, it's Mike Gallagher, host of the Mike Gallagher Show. I don't mess around when it comes to saving your money. Right now, rates have dropped to the lowest level in over a year and a half. That means if you bought your home or refinanced in the last 3 years, you could be saving hundreds of dollars every month. Lower your rate, lower your monthly payment, even kick that pesky PMI to the curb. And get this, you can skip 2 full months of mortgage payments. But that's not all. Fellowship Home Loans just rolled out something incredible. Their very own HELOC and lines of credit. Approval in just 5 minutes. Money in your account in as little as 4 days. It's the easiest system you've ever used. You can do it yourself online. Whether you want to pay off bills, tackle a home project, cover education, or even a wedding, Fellowship Home Loans makes it simple to leverage the money that's already sitting in your house. Just go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending guided by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 81938.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. It's more than just great prices on lumber. From Trex decking to energy-efficient windows and Tamco shingles, Alabama Wholesale Lumber has it all.
Rich Thomas weather.
On this Columbus Day, it looks like a great October weather day ahead. Sunshine in abundance and the high temperature recovering to the low to mid 80s after a chilly start. The humidity will be low. Another jacket weather night tonight with clear skies. Overnight low temperature falls to the middle 50s. I think we're a little warmer tomorrow and Wednesday and probably Thursday. We'll say mid to upper 80s for highs and probably upper 50s for lows at night till about Friday. By the way, I think we're dry through Friday, maybe a couple of showers Saturday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Ready to borrow smarter this season? Apply online in minutes at yourasecu.com. Call 334-270-9011 or visit your local branch today.
ASD Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASD.
Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. An investigation is underway following the death of a man on Dexter Avenue in downtown Montgomery. The unresponsive man was found just before 5 a.m. Saturday morning, about a block away from the Court Square fountain. The unidentified man was pronounced dead at the scene. No further information has been released. A fourth suspect has been arrested in connection to a Montgomery fatal shooting that happened nearly a year ago. 19-year-old Cardarius Griggs is charged with capital murder in the death of 22-year-old Eldrin Wright. 2 16-year-olds and an 18-year-old were previously charged with capital murder in the shooting at Liberty Square Apartments in October of last year. Montgomery's iconic Chris's Famous Hot Dogs restaurant has been sold. After being owned and operated by the same family for over 100 years, the Montgomery restaurant is about to undergo a change in ownership. Chris's Famous Hot Dogs will be passed on to its new owners on October 17th. Montgomery's oldest restaurant new owners have not yet been named. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Pumpkin spice latte season. More like Prattville Carpet Fall sales season.
when you can buy a square foot of tile, luxury vinyl plank, or carpet for way less than a coffee that tastes like a candle. I'm talking $1.39 a square foot. That's way cheaper than the big box stores. And Prattville will throw in friendly, helpful customer service for free. That's the big difference.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Call us today for your free measurement. Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
Shop the fall sale now at prattvillecarpet.com.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. We have Troy Carrico and Elle Milliner here in the studio with me.
Ooh.
And let's go to the phones and talk to Paul. Hey, Paul, how you doing?
My goodness. I thought for sure y'all was trying to confuse an old man. Shotgun show just splattering all over the place in all different directions. And then you go to commercial for about 40, 50 minutes. I almost forgot what I called to talk about.
Were you calling about the Doritos or another person found dead downtown? Which is it? It's putting your tongue on a battery?
Well, actually, I started out with, y'all was talking earlier about different ways that they could track us. I don't know whether y'all remember this or thought about it or not, but a couple of years back, there was two people had an accident, and each one was trying to prove the other one had run the intersection. Well, both insurance companies, the different ones, ordered what's recorded in the black boxes. You know, the cars now have black boxes on them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And because both people had been breaking the speed limits and speed laws prior to said accident, neither one of them was covered. They had to make their own coverages. So that's one of many ways that they track us.
Yeah, that's called telematics. It's an engineering feat that from everything from commercial vehicles to private vehicles. You're right.
Yes, sir. And as far as Brother Robert going to mess with all the different foods, I agree. Something's got to be done. But I disagree in taking our flavors out of it. But that's what makes our flavors.
Don't take my flavor. Okay, fair enough.
All right.
Could you imagine what a pork skin's going to taste like or look like?
Man, some of y'all, you know, when they raided a bunch of those Mexican restaurants, you have people over there in Titus complaining about their cheese death. Come on, man.
Don't take our service.
Priority.
Look at just a plain old Pringle.
Pringle.
It was for the longest. It was for the longest before they ever even started putting flavors in just a regular
You're
Pringle.
right. You're right.
And they still don't taste good.
And they don't taste like cardboard.
The thing is people was buying them as they were.
Oh yeah, no. You know how many people are addicted to Diet Coke? Including the president of the United States. It's not good.
I don't even want to talk about diet beverages at all because the artificial sweeteners that they put into them causes more cancer than what you do for getting away from the sugar.
And then I think it's in Idaho, like Bert Kreischer was going to go do a show in Idaho, and a news organization there in Idaho suggested to Bert, you got to put like a coffee creamer in your Diet Coke. Like take a French vanilla or half and half or whatever. He's like, pour that in your Diet Coke, and he tried it on the spot. Said, this is amazing. And I'll have to maybe try that if I ever feel like wanting to hurt myself.
Yeah, and all this thing about going on over there in the Mideast and whatnot. Do you really know how long that's been going on?
Well, I mean, wars have been going on for thousands of years.
Over 2,000 years.
Several thousands.
Yep, 2,000.
Abraham, Ishmael,
from
Jacob.
Yep.
And these two will be enemy. Can't say that word. anyway, they're going to be against each other for the rest of their days.
That's right.
Well, they was nations made out of both of them.
That's right.
And what have they been doing? They've been doing what the prophet said. All right, now, I like what Trump is trying, but you cannot cast down prophecy. It does not work.
Paul,
Later, guys.
Hey, Paul, real fast. If he who blesses Israel, what happens to him if he blesses Israel?
If he blesses Israel, he's blessed.
That's
if he
right.
blesses Israel, he's cursed.
That's right, brother. That's what I wanted to hear.
Amen.
All right, see you.
Appreciate it, Paul. 272-9228. Here's a little bit of that. Trump this morning in the Israeli Knesset.
The God who once dwelled among his people in the city still calls us, in the words of Scripture, the turn from evil and do good, to seek peace and pursue it. So he still whispers truth into the hills and knolls and valleys of his magnificent creation, and he still writes hope into the hearts of his children all over the world.
No, and at one point, Trump definitely goes off script, and he really he asked straight up, "Give Netanyahu a pardon. Come on," and like half the room very sat down and very upset. Half the room loved it.
You have to worry. You have to wonder if Bibi's worried about, well, when this war ends, then they're going to prosecute me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think it's
self-preservation.
I don't know. Did you see the clip of it was Kushner, Jared Kushner, Steve Witkoff, and they're talking in the hostage square as they're saying we're bringing home the living hostages. And at one point, Witkoff's going through and thanking everybody, and he goes, "And I want to thank Prime Minister Netanyahu," and the crowd starts booing like crazy. And Steve goes, "Well, okay," and he says it again. "I want to thank." Okay, y'all can boo, but I was there in the room. He helped really get this thing done.
I think a lot of that probably consider the audience that was there. These were people that had a vested stake in these hostages, and they think that he didn't do enough to get them back. That's probably what.
I think the thought is, and like all this stuff that sometimes you hear from the detractors of Israel in America, a lot of its origins is Israel.
No,
like it's the political opposition.
So much liberal dissent there. Yeah.
And I think one that is a fairly, you just said it, there's a fairly like plausible, like Netanyahu sees as soon as this war ends,
they're coming after him.
He's really done.
They're coming after him. Yeah.
So, but here's a little more Trump kind of laying out the poetic nature of this.
This is not only the end of a war. This is the end of an age of terror and death, and the beginning of the age of faith and hope and of God. It's the start of a grand concord and lasting harmony for Israel and all the nations of what will soon be a truly magnificent region. I believe that so strongly. This is the historic dawn of a new Middle East.
I hope he's right.
We'll see. We'll see. This has been going on, like you said, thousands of years. It's deeper than just two opposing sides not liking each other or having like a beef with their family or something. We're talking about religion. We're talking about land, holy land that both sides are saying is theirs. And you got one side that's relentless in the use of violence to take back that land.
And does not recognize the right for Israel to exist. They're the only ones of the Arab world now that have that, except Yemen. And my other thing is the over-under on this is 3 months. That's how long it's going to last, and it'll be a break.
Well, and that's one of the parts of the plan that I'm like, I don't know if they're going to do that. Like the Palestinian Authority to participate has to actually reform their education system and all that stuff. And having spent time there, you don't think they're going to change?
I guarantee if you have extra money, you want to bet. I don't know what the odds are, but the over-under in my mind is 3 months.
3 months.
Give it 90 days, and there's going to be a breakdown of something, and there's going to be firing going on. So
now here's another nice flourish from the president, giving that attaboy to one of his team members.
And I have a prediction that Marco will go down, I mean this, as the greatest Secretary of State in the history of the United States. I believe
that's
that.
awesome. I like him.
I believe it. And he and I, we really fought it out. You remember, he was tough.
Sure did.
He was nasty.
He said some terrible things about him, too.
Who the hell thought this was going to happen, Marco, right? And now I'm saying he's going to go down as the greatest. He will. He was always smart and sharp, and people respect him.
Yeah, and
Sure, that's cool.
And I remember back the
he was
the
telling me.
2015, 2016 election.
It's a terrible thing.
Because Rubio's the one who brought up his small hands.
Yeah, I remember.
And then I remember watching that debate and goes, and by the way, he hit me on my hands. I guarantee, look at my hands.
I have no problem.
Guarantee you,
I have no
there's no problem there. And then later that night, he literally put his meat on the table. That was the night where he goes, they say I don't have Trump steaks. Well, here's some Trump steaks right here. You can get a porterhouse. You could get a New York strip. And I like them well done. And then in that same debate, Trump kept calling him Little Marco.
Little Marco.
Little Marco. And he did it enough to where Rubio made the crucial mistake of responding, Little Marco. Okay, Big Don. Don't say that, Little Marco. You just gave away the game.
Right.
But man, shout out to Trump for. People love to say that Trump is like this egotistical maniac.
He's not.
He's just, so arrogant and cocky. And here he is on the world stage giving kudos to a guy who, like you said,
It was his competition.
that's right, competition, and it was a little bit heated, little banter going back and forth. But he's real enough to just give credit where credit is due.
By all accounts, people that spend one-on-one time with him, Bill Maher, for instance, Bill Maher, to come away saying he's really very. He has a persona up front that he's got his backroom persona. I think.
Right.
And I think you're right.
That's right.
I think you're spot
Just
on.
a real person.
Now, here's that moment of Trump definitely going off script in regards to Netanyahu.
I guess maybe something could happen to change my mind. Somebody that's really stupid gets into office and wants to do really bad things, but that's about it. We don't think we're going to have that happen. I hope we're not going to have that happen. And this man is a good man right here. These two men are good men right here.
Pointing to Netanyahu and the president of Israel as well.
And the Knesset.
Hey, I have an idea. Mr. President, why don't you give him a pardon? Give him a pardon.
Yeah, half the room loves it. Other half of the room does not.
That was ballsy what he did there by doing that right there in the Knesset. Baby.
All right, I was waiting for the clapping to end, but apparently it wasn't going to end. Oh man! So I'm hopeful. You say 3 months? I'm going to be in the camp, even if I lose money. I think this is going to actually work in a way that's going to surprise a lot of people. And I say that, by the way, not because I have some deep knowledge of the Middle East. I have been in the camp of Trump's done. Trump screwed it up. Like Trump, he looks tired. He's not going to win back the White House in 24 when he first announced in 2020 or early 21. He didn't look it. And I've been wrong. And so many other people that are naysayers about this guy have been wrong. And so I'm in the camp of I'm happy to see how and admit this could mess up, screw up in all sorts of ways, whether it's this or some other issue. But there's something about this guy where I think he really is. He manifests it. He it's like, I'm going to win. And he really believes it. There's a fascinating thing. I heard Glenn Beck say before the assassination attempt in Pennsylvania, Beck brought up, do you feel safe? Do you have the security? And Trump just put his hand up. And Glenn tried to keep going. Goes, stop. Don't even say it. Don't bring that into the world. And there's something about Trump where he's like, it is the words I say manifest, I can make my reality happen.
He can will himself to victory, and he has.
And, this is very early. Well, we haven't even had him as president again for a year. But it's kind of amazing given that he wasn't president for 4 years, how long he has dominated the imagination of the political mind of the United States.
And the
10 years straight.
The garbage he went through. I mean, no citizen in the United States that I can think of in any context has faced the persecution that he has as when he was out of office.
Absolutely not. No, not even close.
Thank God he had the money to be able to fight.
That's right. That's what really sets him apart.
A normal person.
Yeah.
Well, and then another moment, and this is
Arm
just
wrestling.
for folks watching, Donald Trump, and Emmanuel Macron of
He's
France.
in trouble. He's in trouble right now. Have you seen? You've been watching what's going on?
Because his wife has a penis?
No.
I
The
thought Candace Owens had figured that
prime
out.
minister resigned again.
Oh, really?
He's now down to I think he will probably lose power within the next not 60 days, I'd say, based on what I'm seeing. So,
but Trump and Macron have this ongoing, Trump does the handshake and pulls the arm in. Watch this. Like they back and forth in a way that is absolutely ridiculous. Normal handshake for the moment. Taking a photo op. You see the first pull in. Macron changes hand position.
Regroup.
He's pulling in. Trump pulls back.
Look out there, he says. Smile.
And they're not done, by the way.
You don't do that to me.
They're going back and forth. No.
Oh my God. That's great.
Oh, that's stupid. That's childish, and it's amazing. Oh, that cracks me up.
The art of the handshake.
Yeah. And Rogan's talked about that, where like Trump really does. He goes for it if he sees you're off balance.
He's trying to pull you in.
Anyway, 272-9228. Again, 334-272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by, in fact, the entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And there at Alabama Home Mortgage, Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon are ready to help you, whether you're looking to buy a home, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. They can walk you through that process from pre-approval, don't skip that step, all the way to closing day. And of course, they can also help you with a great refinance plan, and they specialize in helping veterans.
They sure do.
As you know, and there are a lot of veterans who think I don't qualify or I already used it.
I thought that for the longest time until we bought our second home, and they're like, "Oh, do you have any business interests?" I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" They go, "You have a lot of benefits. You need to go to a mortgage specialist like them, and Kim and them can figure out what you got."
Yes, folks, it's as easy as just starting the conversation with them. If you've been waiting for interest rates to come down, that's happening.
Yep.
So at least get the conversation started. You don't have to pull the trigger today, but after having that conversation, you might want to. Call them at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. How about this? Hit a quick break. More after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Here at Adams Drugs, we let our customers do the talking. I'm here with Ronnie Taunton, who was a longtime customer of Adams Drugs, moved away for 3 years, and came back to town recently. Ronnie, what did you do for another pharmacy when you moved out of town?
When we moved to Fairhope, we were looking for a local. We did not want to go to a big box store. And we did find one, but the service was not up to par. Adams Drug really spoiled us.
What was it like to come back to Adams Drugs again?
It was very easy. We picked up the phone when we got back, came up to Prattville and called the branch there in Prattville, and they took that phone call and did the rest of it. We didn't have to do a thing. It was very simple. We're glad to be back with them. They're so efficient and customer service oriented.
Come in to any of our 12 Adams Drugs locations. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net to find the location nearest you. Adams Drugs is your independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking to a lion tamer. What up, Wild Kingdom? I see you're working with the big cats.
That's right, man. They're ferocious. Down Garfield are no tender victuals for you.
I'll bet you've made so much money that you've had to hire yourself a money man.
Yeah, man, and I've hired the best.
You mean the man who could quite possibly be the most beloved asset preservationist in the world?
That's right, man. David Ernest.
The money man with the money plan.
Yeah, Daddy-O, and you can call him toll-free at 833-596-7233.
And those last 4 digits spell out the word safe.
Yeah, man. Mr. Jinx, stop that. That's disgusting.
Tell me, how did you get into this business?
Well, my Uncle Claude, who was also a lion tamer, taught me everything I know.
And what was your Uncle Claude's last name?
Badley.
Claude Badley.
Yeah, excuse me. I gotta go scoop out the litter box.
Make sure you get that joke while you're at it.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1, WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Milliner is on the center of the screen. And folks who don't know about your online show, it's the Captain's Quarter show.
Yes, sir. The Captain's Quarter show. I host it on Facebook, YouTube. All right. I discuss news, politics, and hot topics. I give you all my honest, straightforward commentary on all of the above. And if it's in Montgomery, Alabama, or the state of Alabama, I'm probably going to speak on it. And I'm always going to try to keep it as real as possible and not try to sugarcoat anything, because there are certain facets of people that need it straight.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, absolutely.
And definitely apply that.
Y'all check out the Captain's Quarter show. And then Troy, I don't know if you noticed his shirt, but it's it's folks just listening. It's a normal blue t-shirt with an American flag on it. And it says, this is my pride flag.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
I like that.
And it is Pride Month, apparently.
Apparently
so. Let's do the right pride.
October seems to be the new month. I think it's something about Halloween.
I think it's every month. That's beginning.
Yeah, we get to dress up. Right.
Yeah. Well, at least now they're admitting it. It's just dress up.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Great, perfect.
Cosplay.
I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I'm starting to think this whole pride thing's pretty gay. Now,
boom.
There's a Annie Holmquist, or
yes, I know Annie very well.
Opinion op-ed editor over
she's my favorite person.
Did you see the culture thing she put out? When did this come out? Yesterday it came out. It's 3 atheists explain why the Bible should be taught in schools.
It's incredible.
I'm like, atheists? What? Yeah. What is this? So let me just read it straight up. Ask most Americans if the Bible should be read in schools, and the majority will likely say no. After all, the Supreme Court ruled in 1963 that states and school boards may not require the Bible to be read in schools. So doesn't that mean that its presence should be completely abolished? Even though the Supreme Court insisted that this was not the case, many schools have taken this stance, not only the U.S., but in European nations as well. But according to British broadcaster Melvin Bragg, such a move is very detrimental to society. As a liberal atheist, Bragg's opinion does not appear to be the result of religious proselytizing. Instead, Bragg argues that failure to have children read the Bible will result in a dearth of cultural literacy, saying the Bible should be read so that people have depth to language and depth of reference, which they are without. I think it is a great deprivation. What have we thrown away? One of the greatest pieces of art, work, whatever way you want to put it. It's awful. Bragg specifically advocates for the King James Version of the Bible, comparing it to the works of Shakespeare in beauty and relevance. But Bragg is not the only modern atheist to argue that reading the King James Bible is essential to forming a culturally literate person. In 2012, Richard Dawkins declared, quote, a native speaker of English who has never read a word of the King James Bible is verging on the barbarian. Richard Dawkins said that. A year earlier, in 2011, Christopher Hitchens made a similar point in Vanity Fair when he explained what a culture loses by ignoring the Bible. Quoting Hitchens here, though I am sometimes reluctant to admit it, there really is something timeless in the King James synthesis. For generations, it provided a common stock of references and allusions, rivaled only by Shakespeare in this respect. It resounded in the minds and memories of literate people, as well as those who acquired it only by listening. From the stricken beach of Dunkirk in 1940, faced with a devil's choice between annihilation and surrender, a British officer sent a cable back home. It contained the 3 words, but if not, all of those who receive it were at once aware of what it signified. In the book of Daniel, the Babylonian tyrant Nebuchadnezzar tells the 3 Jewish heretics, Shadrach, Meshach, and
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Yes, that if they refuse to bow to his sacred idol, they will be flung into the burning fiery furnace. They made answer to him. If it be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thy hand, O king. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Hitchens goes on, saying, a culture that does not possess this common store of image and allegory will be perilously thin. To seek restlessly to update it or make it relevant is to miss the point, like yearning for a hip-hop Shakespeare. Man is born unto trouble as the sparks fly upward, says the book of Job. Want to try to improve that for Twitter? Hitchens, say what you will about the guy, but he did have a good sense of what did matter, especially when it came to language.
Sure.
Annie Holmquist goes on saying, it's all very well and good to advocate for the Bible on the grounds of cultural literacy, but it bears asking, could today's students actually read it? The King James Version is written at 12th grade reading level. Really? In an age when half of American adults can't read a book written at 8th grade level, that's a bit of a stretch. Half of Americans can't read a book at 8th grade level?
How do they quantify that?
Damn. Melvin Bragg summarizes those who would use reading difficulty as an excuse for not teaching children the Bible as wimps, terrible persons. He may have a point, especially when one considers that some 18th century 5-year-olds were taught to read in one day using the Bible as their sole textbook. If they were able to handle it, but individuals today are not, then perhaps we need to consider whether modern man is really advanced in knowledge and ability. In any event, do you believe the case for teaching the Bible, which these three atheists advance, is strong? Are we in danger of losing important cultural references, knowledge, and even intellectual ability if we fail to introduce the Bible to children? Again, that's written by Annie Holmquist. She's the culture and opinion editor there for the 1819 News. And to answer her question, yes, obviously so. I think you really are. You could read all the latest novels and go through all the English literature. And if you don't know the New and Old Testament, then you are bereft.
You're a disadvantage.
And also what is shocking is, like, you might get the stories when you're a kid, but how many times have adults, especially folks who say, well, I don't believe it. Well, have you read it? It's one thing if you've read it and you've wrestled with it and you can't bring yourself to believe. That's one thing.
Most of them.
But most of the time, folks just haven't taken the time.
This is true.
And like, well, what did you do instead? You watch a football game? You watch something funny? What did you spend? Did you at least spend time with the family, like the kids and stuff? And to me, there's no excuse. Like, you should be able to sit down, read these things. And I think the point about, it's too difficult to read is, like, that's the problem with so much of our education is we lower standards. We should have higher standards and expect more.
Well, I think that so many, and the secularism that has occurred in this country and taken us away from God has, with technology, made a digital divide. And I've argued this, and I believe this. You hit a good point, is where do you differentiate between saying that spiritually, I don't have a need to fill that. So because I think that the education system has failed us, our families are broken down, churches have, COVID destroyed a lot of churches and they didn't stand up. Here we have a new turn with the Turning Point USA youth, maybe coming back to the Bible. And I pray that's the case, because I just don't think that many of the adults, even the boomers today, how many of them really are, I'm not saying evangelical, but convicted in their faith.
Right.
I mean, we talked about this ad nauseum on Friday, Joey. You can walk with God, but are you really serving his kingdom here? And that's something that many don't get. So
that's right. And like when you said the young people, the TPUSA age, they have seen something happen right in front of them that I haven't even seen this happen until now, where we saw Charlie Kirk be assassinated based on the way he was living, based on the ideas and his faith and him expressing Christ, it to everybody. And so they're able to see, and so that's causing them to kind of reflect and say, this society is teaching us to get away from God, to go in a different direction, to be more secular, to be more, it's about me. It's about doing what I want to do, expressing myself how I want to express myself. And this guy got assassinated for doing the opposite.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought we were the good guys.
You know what's funny is I think those youth are hungry for more than what the woke left can give them. Gender pronouns and all that. They want meaning. They want Christ, and Christ gives you meaning in your life, and you know that.
That's
he
right.
knows that, and that's I think what's up.
No, and when you get also you are when you say I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to shape myself, and in many ways I believe in that sort of idea too.
Sure.
But I've realized over time that who are you to? How are you going to begin to shape yourself in a way that makes you think you're stepping forward if you don't know where you came from?
You have to know.
Like, how do you know you're not repeating the mistakes that
Right.
people made thousands of years ago?
And as you're developing, if you're not looking ahead of yourself, right, to a higher being, to an adult who knows what they're talking about, if you're not doing that, then that means you're learning, you're growing like a weed does in the yard.
You need a greater
no
cause.
flowering, no watering, just no manicuring, nothing to shape you into that. You're just growing up raising yourself, which causes you more destruction down the road. So as a young person, you need to have that stability and consistency as far as knowing how to live your life.
And also, I think, I don't know if it's the Vacation Bible School or the way it's presented by certain people that present it, but when you actually read, especially the Old Testament, but also in the New, these are not like perfect people. And in fact, the people that are chosen are the outcasts, the ones that were skipped over, the ones that were sold into slavery. It's often like where you least expect it is sort of the whole point. And there's so much paradox in in a beautiful way that if you actually embrace that faith, you can grow more than just a weed. Like you can actually find those roots in deep soil and blossom into something you can never even imagine. But if you take the steps each day, you might be going that way. Though I said this to my grandfather the other night. I've always had a aversion to sort of the very reductive prosperity gospel. Like if you do all the things, you do God's will, goodness will come to you. I'm like, what are you talking about? In fact, at this point in my life, I think it's the opposite.
Yeah.
I think if you really follow God's will, what did Larry Arnn say at Charlie?
You
Kirk?
have to suffer, man.
You will suffer.
You have to suffer.
That's right.
And I think that also, that lesson right there, it's one thing for a kid to hear, but once a kid or a person, as they're growing up, understands that, then that solves for so many other potential problems like resentments and other things that might come up.
That's right. And as they see their parents or whoever it is that's raising them, as they see them go through those trials, right? They're seeing them live out their faith, but they're going through struggles and they're dealing with it in the right way. Right. They're going to be stronger as they grow older to say, okay, I know when a storm comes, I'll be able to get through it because I watched my dad, my mom, or whoever it is go through the same thing and they made it through.
Yeah. And it is funny too, how faith will hit people in different ways. And I think there's sometimes, like, for instance, over the weekend, I'm sitting there listening to a priest and a podcaster talk about and the differences between Thomas Aquinas and Molinist justifications of human freedom and free will. I'm like, how many people who really are devout, like even understand what that is? And does it even matter? It doesn't matter. And you got to keep in mind that even one of the great doctors of the Church, Aquinas, the great story of how he's written hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of words, every which way, the Summa Theologica. And before he can finish it, he has an experience while he's at Mass where he essentially describes it as a direct encounter with God. Mm-hmm. And one of his big takeaways from that is all those words I've spilled, even in his to serve him, they're straw compared to what I just experienced. Yeah. So I think there is something that I wrote about the other week. It's not this sort of truth of God is not propositional. It's not as simple as 2 + 2 = 4. It's much more to do with a deep relationship of love you could never put into words. And I think it's that sort of insight once it takes over you that you don't have to be some like scholar. You don't have to be, it could be, just a particular, say, verse of scripture centers you, gives you direction in life. And though you might not be able to explicate all the complications of the mysteries of the word, you're there, you're taking care of the people you love, and you're serving God at the same time. That's the beauty of it. It can come down to the simple love God and serve you others.
When we were talking the other night, Friday, the thing I came away with after we just were bantering back, I thought God's providence, the providence and the divinity of him transcends all other things in our life. And that's really, his love for us is so great that we can't even wrap our mind around. His ways aren't our ways, his thoughts aren't our thoughts, right? And it's just one of those things as a human. And when you wrestle with it, Joey, and I know you've been doing your in-depth study and compare and contrast, I still think that we still find ourselves ill-equipped to fully appreciate the magnificence of it all. But I think there's glimpses that we get, and that keeps us going. So
now I'm obviously not going to play the whole thing of this, but what is this? You've seen probably these Jubilee debates where it's like,
yes,
one person in the center,
right, and then people around ask questions,
Well, Allie Beth Stuckey, she is the one conservative Christian in a room surrounded by 20 liberal Christians. And let's get a little sample of this, because I think it is about a 2-hour show and program. But this is, I think, the debate that will be, if young people, especially after Charlie Kirk, and I think what is this spark that is increasing revival in a lot of ways. And so if you are political and you're trying to start from first principles of your faith, it's going to be interesting to at least, are you a Christian or not? Isn't the question. It's like, what kind of Christian are you? How do you properly interpret this and apply it to actual practice in the world? So let's listen in. I think the first prompt, the way this works is Allie Beth Stuckey claims empathy can be toxic and lead to sin. Empathy can be toxic and lead to sin. Let's listen in. It can be.
It can be very.
So, this is
it's really interesting.
Interesting.
I find it interesting that she's the only conservative Christian with all these.
That's how they set it up.
Yeah.
So
every time.
Yeah, there's one.
They have an opposite. They have they have opposite. Sometimes they have a liberal in the middle. Then they got conservatives around.
That's what I'm wondering. Okay.
Yeah, they have one where it's Alex O'Connor, one atheist and 20 Christians. Actually, it's great because he's a theological student, like a PhD in theology there from Cambridge. So there are many like this. Jordan Peterson one went quite viral. One with Charlie Kirk, and Charlie really held his own. Another great one with Michael Knowles is playing the more conservative thing. And what happens is if the person who sat down is people have red flags in the circle. They can all, and once you get a majority of people put up a red flag, you got to get up.
Get out of there.
And then it's like musical chairs. Everybody gets a chance to rush and go sit in a chair.
That's cool.
Yeah, sometimes they run into each other like linebackers. Yeah. I've seen it happen a few times that somebody get knocked right on the floor.
This what people I'm looking at there ain't going to do much damage to us.
And folks are saying they couldn't hear it on the stream. Well, I apologize for that, folks. I do. But I mean, the basic idea, I think Allie Stuckey is right.
Yep.
And she backed away from the love thing. I'm like, wait,
Embrace
like
that.
love,
She should be embracing that.
like. It's one thing to like talk about the pure agape love, the willing the good of the other that comes from God. But is there not also like the Greek,
platonic,
like eros,
platonic,
like
eros,
erotic love? That could lead to sin.
platonic, like my love for you as a friend. Yeah,
right.
I mean, I see love as being something that's a constant across all facets of love. I think that we as people attach a different emotion or a different view of the love depending on the relationship.
Right.
Of the person.
We make a construct, don't we? At that point,
Right.
We
Right.
construct
Exactly.
that in our mind. Yeah,
exactly. So
I
think to a certain extent we do that as people, but really what love is something that's a constant. Is as Corinthians puts it, like love is patient, kind. Doesn't hold on to grudges, doesn't keep records, forgives, and so on and so forth. And when you apply that to what they're talking about being an empath, it becomes it's toxic because now we're going to start, like she said, persons identifying as something. Do you say, oh, I feel where you're coming from and agree with the person?
Right.
That wouldn't be love because
if I love you, I tell you what
the
you're doing
truth
is wrong.
Right.
Well, and then think of the devouring mother, the mother that doesn't let the little bird fly, always just keeps it in the nest.
Yeah.
Like never leave me because I want to
yeah.
protect you. And it's
That's
that
right.
sort, like often good instincts can be every good thing can be twisted.
That's right.
Look at that case in point. Roger Waters in The Wall. Mama's going to help build the wall. You know what I'm talking about? Do you watch Pink Floyd?
All in all, you're just another brick in the wall.
No, the other one's called Mother. It goes.
I don't know that one off the top of my head.
You would appreciate. I'm just saying that it turned him into a real weirdo. So
don't
mom
get me
issues.
started.
Mom issues.
Well, and don't get me started on like, have you seen recent interviews with David Gilmour,
lost his
the
stuff.
guitarist?
They've lost their stuff.
No, but David Gilmour can't stand Roger Waters.
Of course, he's a pompous narcissist, and I don't even know what if I call him a racist, whatever he is. He's just weird. And he's not that good of a musician. When he bashed Ozzy Osbourne, I said it's over, bro.
Yeah. I mean, he had a brilliant album that he wrote in his early 20s,
For sure.
mid-20s,
For sure.
Dark Side of the Moon. It is a brilliant piece of art that captures the existential angst of the age and being a young, like all this stuff. But that's got to be rough. Like, dadgum, I peaked when I was 25. Like, how do I best that?
I don't think he's looking back. He thinks he's
some people never get to that peak. So
that's true.
Right.
Hey, you made it past 1%. I mean, you're in the top 1% of artists. So.
Well, I'll have to check out this whole Jubilee debate. But folks, if you're not familiar with them, it's just Jubilee, and they've got all sorts of.
Yeah, they're really
debates.
good. They're really good. I've seen them do teams too. I've seen them do 5 conservatives, 5 liberals, and then they give them topics, and then they go back and forth. It's really good.
But we got to hit this break. We'll be right back after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, I'm Joseph with Rapid Fire Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you have a house and you want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 334-675-1000. I pay cash and can close as quickly as you like. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and any location. I buy several houses per month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorced houses, behind on payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me rent houses. Do you own a house in rough shape and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great. I love buying those houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you have a house and you want to sell it fast, call me at 334-675-1000. That's 334-675-1000. Now play that catchy jingle.
Sell your house the easy way. Call Rapid Fire Home Buyers today.
Your nightly news begins with Fox 20 News at 9.
We start Fox 20 News at 9 with breaking news.
Putting Montgomery news first. Covering your news from all sides. Fox 20 News at 9 is Montgomery's original 9 p.m. news. Live reports from your community. Don't wait till 10. See what's making news tonight and what you can expect tomorrow. If it's happening in the capital city, it's happening on Fox 20 News at 9. Coverage you can count on.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Woodward, account executive with Blue Water Broadcasting. Why should you advertise with us? Did you know that more Americans listen to radio than use Facebook each week? Did you know that 77% of listeners would try a brand or product endorsed by their favorite radio personality? Contact me, Cheryl Woodward, by going to bluewaterbroadcasting.com to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Truckers, if you are looking for green grass, contact Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. In business since 1959 and still growing. Call today, 855-777-9785.
Rich Thomas weather.
On this Columbus Day, it looks like a great October weather day ahead. Sunshine in abundance and the high temperature recovering to the low to mid 80s after a chilly start. The humidity will be low. Another jacket weather night tonight with clear skies. Overnight low temperature falls to the middle 50s. I think we're a little warmer tomorrow and Wednesday and probably Thursday. We'll say mid to upper 80s for highs. And probably upper 50s for lows at night till about Friday. By the way, I think we're dry through Friday, maybe a couple of showers Saturday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
The best pizza buffet in town just got better. In October, Pizza Perfect is rolling back the price to 2010. This month only, the buffet is only $10. Included on the buffet is pizza, spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink. Get it for lunch Monday through Saturday and for dinner on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. If you've never been to Pizza Perfect, now's a great time to go. $10 for the buffet. Pizza Perfect. Available for pickup and delivery. Pizza Perfect on Coliseum Boulevard, Eastbrook.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Live local talk, the River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Michael Cohen with Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Michael, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm just flying through the day. I don't even want to talk about football. I just want to know the score there today at Cohen.
Was it 24-21?
Yeah.
Like that was our score, not your score.
Yeah, it was. Oh, that was a rough game to watch with Auburn.
Whew. As an Alabama fan, I think y'all have some issues, but I definitely think that you had to fight the refs too.
Yeah.
They seemed to make some bonehead calls and let Kirby get away with some BS that shouldn't have never happened.
Oh, the timeout thing. Or he said, no, I was just clapping my hands. Like, no, you weren't, Kirby. We can all see you, Kirby.
It looked like a tee to me.
Yeah.
Tee him up.
Man. But, here's the good news is we were watching on a beautiful TV that my grandfather got from Cohen. So at least the TV was working great.
That's right. That's right. I mean, I wish it could make your team a little better, but, it can only do what it can do. Whether you go with a Samsung or a Sony, you get an excellent picture, and hopefully Michael Jacks gets everything installed for everybody and gets everybody to the nines as far as the way it's supposed to be hooked up and the way it's supposed to operate. That to me is the biggest part. I mean, it clearly the installation is the biggest thing that we sell, because whether it's an appliance, whether it's audio, video, everything is available somewhere else.
And y'all are great.
It's all the people.
And y'all are great about making sure something's going to fit, like actually understanding the space that y'all are working with and working in. And folks, great products there, and not just on the electronic side, but also on the appliance side. But the service really makes a huge difference above and beyond anybody that even tries to compete. You got to get by Cohen's Electronics and Appliances today. They're 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery, open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And find Michael and give him, I guess, a War Eagle from Joey Clark when you stop by. And it sucked. Yeah. It was not fun watching that. It was awful. Ah.
It would have been worse on 95 inch.
And then you had like a 30-something minute of a 2-minute of the first half.
All right.
Hey, it was ugly.
Hey, Mike, do you think it would have looked better probably for him on the 95 inch Sony?
It would have looked better.
Yeah, we could have seen even more play today. He broke the play. He broke the play.
We'll get on down there. You got him.
Anyway. All right. I'll come see us, and hopefully there'll be an Eddie sighting on Wednesday.
Yeah,
indeed. Yeah, I appreciate it, Michael.
Take care.
Yeah, I talked to Eddie this morning. Of course, he had his excuse.
Always be closing.
Yes.
Always be closing.
That's right, we know.
Every time.
That's, I think, like
it's a great movie.
A formative movie for Eddie Bader right there. It really is.
It changed his life.
Yeah. Yeah, when I saw they redid it as a Broadway play again, brought it back.
That was strange. That's strange.
I wish I'd been able to go see that. But, honestly, I'm good not ever having to go to New York City ever.
I was going to say, you don't want to have to go there.
Yeah. So coming up, you're going to get into an op-ed, and this is on Hegseth, the Secretary of War speech at Quantico.
I wanted to give it a little bit of time, sort of like I did with Charlie Kirk. I think that first week, there's so much. I wanted to see what people were saying, number one. And then I wanted to refute what most of the armchair never-beens in the military are talking about. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to getting into that. We could also get into a little bit of the shutdown politics. Senator Katie Britt saying, Democrats eye no King's protest for political boost while shutdown lingers. Quote, what's truly concerning is the hold far-left groups like this have. And actually, we had Byron Sheehy predicting the other day that the day after the No King's protest is when Chuck Schumer and them will relent. And I actually think Mr. Sheehy's onto something in that regard. Because I don't think this can go on. And one thing also, and it's more like studying the sign of the times and the changing of the guard, is every time you see J.D. Vance go on one of these old school Sunday morning talk shows, whether it's George Stephanopoulos or Margaret Brennan or any of them, you start to see, this needs to be saved. This is like the death of a medium. Like the end of the liberal boomer era is happening before our eyes. Every time he goes on, you can tell these folks who used to be in charge, who used to dominate the conversation, no longer. And honestly, I'm quite there for it.
Their magic is weak.
And then it looks like Trump has, of course, been in Egypt today, signed the big deal with all the other Middle East leaders. There was a little bit of a brouhaha when people said Netanyahu was going to show up, and the president of Turkey and a few others like, I'm not, and the president of Iraq, I'm not showing up, and Bibi Netanyahu's there. And Netanyahu very quickly goes, I'm staying for a Jewish holiday.
But see, that's the problem, though, Joey. The hypocrisy of it.
Yeah.
That's always
Turkey's a NATO member, but they're not our ally. Trust me on that.
And though, again, there's something unique about Netanyahu that gets the ire up in folks, and they don't have to be Arabs.
I told you a story. He was one of the commandos that stormed the plane in, where was it, in Germany, on the ground where the Muslim Brotherhood assassinated the Israeli Olympic athletes, and his brother was one of the athletes. He went in, he led the team in and shot about 12 of them in the head with the 22 suppressed. He's a bad man. He's a bad man.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with that.
He's a bad man. Yep.
Anyway, we got this top of the hour break. We'll be right back after this.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. All 20 remaining living hostages held in Gaza and scores of Palestinian prisoners held by Israel have walked free as part of a ceasefire, pausing 2 years of war. The conflict decimated the Gaza Strip, killing tens of thousands of Palestinians, being used as human shields by the Hamas terrorist group there. Palestinians in the West Bank rejoice as buses carrying dozens of the some 2,000 released prisoners from Israel arrived today in Ramallah. There's been a grim prediction from House Speaker Mike Johnson today. He says the federal government shutdown may become the longest in U.S. history. He says he won't negotiate with Democrats on their demand to spend $1.5 trillion in new tax money for illegal health care for illegal immigrants. He says the Republicans will not budge on that. On Wall Street right now, the Dow's up 635 points. This is SRN News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-226-5454. That's 800-226-5454. 800-226-5454.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillips Schimbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillips Schimbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
On this Columbus Day, it looks like a great October weather day ahead. Sunshine in abundance and the high temperature recovering to the low to mid 80s after a chilly start. The humidity will be low. Another jacket weather night tonight with clear skies. Overnight low temperature falls to the middle 50s. I think we're a little warmer tomorrow and Wednesday and probably Thursday. We'll say mid to upper 80s for highs and probably upper 50s for lows at night till about Friday. By the way, I think we're dry through Friday, maybe a couple of showers Saturday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Ready to borrow smarter this season? Apply online in minutes at yourasecu.com. Call 334-270-9011 or visit your local branch today.
ASD Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASD.
Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
1819 News.
U.S. Congressman Barry Moore explains how the government shutdown is really about the Democrats wanting health care to be reinstated for illegal aliens. This past weekend, Moore was a guest on Capitol Journal at Alabama Public Television.
Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic that some of the Democrats, they're starting to come our way. We went in and in the big, beautiful bill, we said if you're not a U.S. citizen, you don't need to be drawing Medicaid. And so on page 57, Schumer and them's trying to say you're not required to be a citizen to be, and their agreement to open up and get the Dems to vote, they want to put those folks right back on. And so we're just not willing to do that because they want $1.5 trillion basically to open the government for 6 weeks. And in everything we've done with President Trump and the big, beautiful bill, some reconciliation things, they're just wanting to strip all that out and go back to business as usual.
I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Are you enjoying 1819 News? If so, consider joining 1819 News as a member. As a nonprofit news organization, we depend on the support of Alabamians like you. Memberships start out as little as $5 a month, and you'll get access to exclusive content only offered to our members. You'll be supporting independent journalism done by people who cherish Alabama values. Become a member today by visiting 1819news.com and clicking Become a Member. That's 1819news.com and click Become a Member today.
A shooting occurred this past Sunday in Dothan at the Wiregrass Commons Mall. One person was struck with gunfire after a dispute arose in a barbershop between two varying groups. Investigators say the dispute is connected to another fatal shooting that occurred in Pike County last week, where a Dothan man was killed during a large party of over 300 people. The man who was recently injured at this barbershop was also being sought by authorities as the murder suspect from that previous party. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
New CBS Tonight.
All right, people, all hands on deck.
FBI is back.
I don't really recognize the world anymore. My team saw things, survived things.
There's something else going on here. Something bigger.
FBI, don't move!
I know what kind of people you are, and I'm not giving up. We are FBI, and we still have a job to do to protect people. Let's move.
FBI tonight at 8 p.m. on WAKA.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers.
It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
How you conduct yourself in a democracy?
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. In studio with me, we have Elle Milliner and Mr. Troy Carrico, who has the Rambo Trump behind him. I keep forgetting about that and looking up.
I love it. He's juiced too, buddy. He is juiced.
Yeah, talk about definitely on some gear over there.
Yeah.
But you wanted to share your thoughts on the Pete Hegseth speech at Quantico and what this might mean for the new Department of War, right?
What I did is, and I wanted to give it some time and let the rubble settle and see what the general consensus was. And it was kind of what I thought it was going to be. There's a lot of us that are in a chat group, mostly Marine sergeant majors and a couple colonels, and their interesting takes on it gave me some shaping on this. But yeah, I think it's time now that I addressed it. So yeah,
you want to go for it?
Let's go. Warriors reawakened. Quantico's reckoning signals the end of woke weakness in America's fighting force. Be advised, citizens, what unfolded at Quantico last week wasn't just another high-level huddle in the bowels of the Pentagon's echo chamber. Negative. This was a seismic shift, a paradigm shift, a tectonic plate shift that formed the very foundations of what we've come to call the Department of War, or as the bureaucrats like to sugarcoat it, the former Department of Defense. Picture this. The Secretary of War, SecDef, Pete Hegseth, without teleprompter or speaking notes, exercising Lloyd Austin's ghost and Mark Milley's zombie that were still haunting the halls, if we're being honest. Now with a real leader at the helm under President Trump's unyielding command, flanked by a cadre of battle-hard generals and staff officers, the SecDef and Commander-in-Chief strode into that room like an avenging angel on an of American might. What transpired? A cultural affirmation, my friends. Despite the blank faces in the crowd of flags, there was deafening, thunderous roar from the soul of the war fighters everywhere. The realpolitik I've referenced to often before is coming to fruition. There's a storm coming down upon the enemies of freedom, both foreign and domestic. Let me set the stage with the full fire and fury it deserves. Quantico, the cradle of Marine Corps grit, where leathernecks are forged into the fires of hellish training, became the altar for a veritable come-to-Jesus meeting. Trump didn't mince words. He didn't need to. His presence alone was a Molotov cocktail lobbed into a stagnant bog of military malaise. These weren't your garden variety briefings with PowerPoints and platitudes. This was raw, unfiltered truth serum injected straight into the veins of our senior commanders. For too long, our warfighters, those unbreakable sons and daughters who bled for red, white, and blue, have been shackled by a derelict leadership cadre more concerned with diversity quotas than destroying threats. And let's call it what it is. Abject presidential failure from the Obama-Biden Circus Act paved the way for this rot. Woke experiments, check. Weak-kneed apologies for American exceptionalism, double check. Manufactured crises like pronouns and pronoun patrols and climate sensitivity training. You betcha, all being garnished with the complete abandonment of our bases and equipment in Afghanistan under an imposter. You bet your ass these abominations have infiltrated our ranks, turning foxholes into group therapy sessions and turning battlefields into HR seminars. But Quantico, that was the great unmasking. This wasn't some feel-good pep rally. It was an extended behavioral social experiment, a psychological gauntlet designed to test the mettle of every command presence in that room. Appearance, competence, loyalty, all of its raw compositions under the microscope. Trump's gaze, piercing as a 50 caliber Browning machine gun round, sifted the wheat from the chaff, and SecDef Hexeth taking notes. Who among these stars and eagles still burns with the warrior ethos? That primal, tangible force that separates the victors from losers. And who are the lesser motivated pretenders, that failed leaders who've forgotten the weight of their oaths? Fat boys stuffed in their dress uniforms were definitely noted. The oath to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, not to coddle them with nation-building fairy tales. Rest assured, we have a few of those in the crosshairs now, mark my words. They're being dragged into the light, the war-fighting facade stripped bare, forced to confront the unforgiving truth our lifestyle as warriors ain't for the faint of heart. It's as demanding as a 20-mile ruck in full kit through soaking mud. It's a siren's call that devours the weak and spits out Politico legends. You don't sign up for glory. You sign up for the grind that hones you into a blade sharp enough to carve through tyranny. And there's the gospel truth hammered home in the Quantico crucible. Warrior ethos isn't some abstract bumper sticker. It's a tangible felt in the recoil of your M4 carbine as you close with the enemy, smelled in the cordite of righteousness and fury and explosions, heard in the war cry that echoes across generations. It was akin to the smell of napalm in the morning. That smell, that gasoline smell, nothing else in the world smells like it. It smells like victory. Trump reinforced it with the authority of a man who stared down dictators and won. No more half measures, no more bleeding treasure and endless quagmires, playing the role of global nanny while our own borders bleed. His position was crystal clear. We're nation destroyers, not nation builders. That's the American way. Unapologetic, overwhelming, and final. Let's dust off the good old days, shall we? Find them, fix them, close with the enemy in a storm of still and will, then destroy them with superior firepower that leaves no doubt who rules the battlefield. Remember shock and awe? That wasn't a suggestion. It was a promise. And under Trump 2.0, it's the blueprint for every theater from the South China Sea to the sands of the Middle East. I've walked those miles myself over 4.5 full combat tours, creeped around in clandestine shadows for DIA and the Iraqi survey group. I've led men whose lives hung on my decisions like a noose in the balance. Our determination buoyed by the depth of our training and perception and preparation. I know what it means to lead like your brother's life depends on it, because it does in that terrible crucible of combat. At the end of the day, that's the sacred covenant. You warriors follow you into the valley of death, not out of duty alone, but because you've proven you're the tip of the spear, unbreakable, unrelenting, and unforgiving. Quantico wasn't just a meeting. It was a manifesto, a clarion call to purge the poison, reclaim our edge, and remind every single American in uniform that the past several administrations' softness that they've wielded kills them. The woke weeds are being called. The compromised commanders courted out the door. What's rising in their place? A military reborn, fierce, focused, and faithful to the fight. Trump gets it. The true warriors get it. And now, thanks to that reckoning in Quantico, the whole damn world will get it too. America first, warriors unleashed, enemies beware, Rangers lead the way.
Well, tell us how you really feel.
Beautiful. It's about time we got back to being warfighters.
Here. Yeah, no, I was going to have follow-up questions, but I think you answered them in the piece itself. Well done, Troy.
Well, it's something that's part and parcel of what I was made to do by God, and watching what's happened, and particularly that Afghanistan withdrawal, Joey, just, I mean, it makes me very angry, very sick.
Now, as you were reading that, it was brought to my attention by Mr. Dawson. You know that guy.
I know Brian Dawson.
What Matt Walsh put out today, because a lot of people are off today, right?
Yeah, it's Columbus Day.
Yeah, and so Matt Walsh wrote, today we honor Christopher Columbus and all the European pioneers who came in his footsteps to claim this land for Christ. We celebrate the conquest of civilization over Stone Age savagery, and we recommit ourselves to defend civilization against the forces of chaos and barbarism that threaten it today. Happy Columbus Day.
Nice.
Happy Columbus Day.
Happy Columbus Day.
And if you think, oh, that's overstated, well, as things get hairy or something like that in Portland, do you know they're protesting up there?
Inflatables?
No, naked.
No, that was yesterday. Yeah. They look gross. They need to get the sun. Those people need to see some sun, man.
Naked.
They're so pale and
now,
marshmallow
one
looking.
guy was in his underwear, I think on a unicycle, playing bagpipes through a Darth Vader helmet.
Nice.
Yeah, he's probably on a unicorn.
Which had rainbows coming out of its behind.
Yeah, he's probably looking for a pot of gold at the end of it.
That's right. A real pot of gold.
But I'm looking at
true leprechauns.
A lot of naked people, but apparently this is a thing. This is how Portland does it. We get naked and we ride our bikes.
Keep it weird, Portland.
Oh man. And honestly,
listen, and that's why I'm not worried. I don't care if they have ARs. Those people wouldn't last 5 minutes in a firefight. They wouldn't know how to clear a jam.
Yeah, so crowds that gather daily and nightly outside the immigration facility in Oregon's largest city in recent days have embraced the absurd, donning inflatable frog, unicorn, banana costumes as they face off with federal law enforcement who often deploy tear gas and pepper balls.
Did you see what the one cop did to the guy that was a frog? He was going around and he's got a fan. It's got a fan on the back. He's putting the tear gas up the fan and blowing it. That was awesome. These guys like going,
oh man.
Yeah, one of the riders called it the nude ride, a quintessential Portland way to protest.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
The 51-year-old was naked except for wool socks, a wig, and a hat. She sipped hot tea and said she was unbothered by the steady rain and temperatures in the mid-50s. We definitely do not want troops coming into our city, the woman said. Really? But this is where I'm like, don't you have anything better to do?
No, they don't.
This is what they're made to do.
This is their life.
That's how they define. This is their
here.
fight right here. They define being defiant against America. That's what they live for.
Yeah, I like it. It's going to take a lot for me to even go to a protest, let alone take my clothes off at a protest.
Yeah. Hey, that's their lifestyle. That's the way of life. It's not them fighting against the system or whatever. This is just their lifestyle. Their lifestyle is getting naked and getting out there yelling, screaming, rolling around.
I'm thinking tanning salons don't do very good business there.
No,
because they're pretty white, man.
I don't think they do. It's quite pasty
different
out there. Now, speaking of this kind of in the middle of the shutdown and all the mayhem out there, Senator Britt really pushing back against some of, say, the forces out there. And so as the government shutdown stretches into its third week, third week, U.S. Senator Katie Britt said Democrats could be holding out until after the No Kings protest scheduled to take place nationwide this weekend. On October 18th, Democrat and far-left groups across the state will be taking to the streets once again for another day of protests. Good Doobie Brothers song, though. Michael McDonald Doobie Brothers is my favorite.
Yeah, that's not as good as the original.
No, but it's an attempt to rehash perceived grievances with the Trump administration. Meanwhile, Senate Democrats have refused to pass the House's clean continuing resolution to reopen the government and allow military personnel and other federal workers to receive their pay. Senator Britt said in an interview with Newsmax last Wednesday that Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer hopes his efforts to keep the government closed will resonate with his base during re-election and give him something to tout as he speaks at a protest on Saturday. What's truly concerning is the hold far left groups like this have over Democrats, and the people like Chuck Schumer are more concerned with being a headliner at one of these protests than opening our government and ensuring our troops get paid, Britt told 1819 News. From Florence to Fairhope, at least 15 protests are planned in Alabama, according to NoKings.org. Organized by local Democrat parties and left-wing groups such as the Soros-funded Indivisible and 5051?
Yeah, 5051, but go check the article I sent you. There's a lot more. There's Rockefeller Fund. There's just a lot of crap that's aligned with it. Yeah.
The senator went on saying, while I could not disagree more over why they're protesting, I do support the right to do so. I urge it remains peaceful. The protest effort in June on Trump's birthday saw a few violent incidents, with at least one report of an alleged assault by a No Kings protester in Mobile. However, since then, the political climate in America has only grown hotter, particularly with the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Many of the groups planning the upcoming protest, as well as people promoting and supporting the events, were among those celebrating Kirk's murder. Like the group Liberal Agenda for North Alabama is a radical left-wing Facebook page turned activist group. The page, run by Huntsville native Alex spelled A-L-I-X,
of course,
Alex Morehouse,
he has to be different,
made several posts the day of Kirk's assassination celebrating his death. Morehouse continues to make posts against Kirk and Republican leaders using the same Nazi and Hitler rhetoric that arguably helped incite Kirk's killer to violence. When not posting vulgar far-left messaging, Morehouse has been supporting Democrat candidates like self-described member of a domestic terror organization, Jeremy DeVito, and recruiting people to attend the No Kings protest. Morehouse said she would be attending the one in Gunnersville, organized by the Marshall County Democratic Party. The party seems friendly with Morehouse and her page, having shared and liked several of her posts in the past. Multiple messages to the party president, Susan McKinney, about whether or not they support Morehouse's rhetoric went unanswered. The last No Kings protest in Gunnersville, organized by the Democratic Party at the Marshall County Courthouse, was well attended by a predominantly elderly crowd, though it violated several of the country's picketing regulations, such as not using sound amplification and limiting crowd size to 30. The application for the protest on October 18th made a special note about adhering to the county's rules. Like with the protest in June, Marshall County Sheriff Phil Sims told 1819 News that he did not anticipate any major issues on the 18th. However, he said his deputies would be ready to respond. Law enforcement in Huntsville issued a similar statement for the planned No Kings, No Quacks protest along Governor's Drive. The Huntsville Police Department is aware of the planned activity and, as always, fully prepared to ensure public safety. And Huntsville protesters are encouraged to, quote unquote, be creative and sign with signs and costumes, or dress as any doctor you would rather take medical advice from than RFK Jr. What's their deal with that? Right? What's their deal with hating on Bobby Kennedy? Come on,
because he betrayed the party.
Yeah, he's an apostate.
Listen, his wife talks about how watching his family distance himself from him. So,
And protesters in Auburn plan to take advantage of game day traffic with a sign brigade along North College Street outside of the Creher Preserve.
All 9 of them.
Yeah, no. Our single message: country over party, surrounded by a sea of red, white, and blue flags, will be a powerful visual, the event page stated. We've also created a brilliant unpaid protester T-shirt in honor of the event. Organizers of the No Kings movement warned protesters during an online training session of, quote, increasing political tensions and military presence ahead of the rallies. Have you interacted or, do you ever get a much blowback or interaction with, say, the left-wing activists here locally, Al?
A bit here and there. They're very vocal people. And I would say they're very violent people. They tend to be. They don't like to hear any type of dissenting view, like anything that's going against their side.
Oh yeah,
they don't want to hear that very much. It's always interesting that we're always the ones that's willing to have the conversation, and they're just like want to shout you down and throw stuff at you, and but then they go to the protest and they're like, "Oh, we're being peaceful," while they're throwing like frozen sodas and bricks and things at you.
Well, and the last time, I think there was one in here in Montgomery, but you wouldn't have even noticed.
Yeah, no, it was very small.
Yeah, it was 13 people there, I think.
So that article I sent you talks about the fact that the problem happens with this No Kings is LA's kind of just dropped out of it. LA's no longer got a lot of organization. So that drove a lot of the train, and they think it's going to be a big flop.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
Yeah, and I like the prediction that the shutdown will end after they do this
Yes.
Because here's what they say. This is from the No Kings website. Like why they're getting out, taking it to
Robert
the
De Niro. Did he do his commercial? Robert De Niro. He does. No Kings, get out there. It's like, who are you? You look gross, man.
And anyway, here's what they put out there on their website saying his administration is sending masked agents into our streets, terrorizing our communities. They are targeting immigrant families. I don't know why I'm talking like this, but it seems to fit. Profiling, arresting, and detaining people without warrants, threatening to overtake elections, gutting healthcare, environmental protections, and education when families need them most, rigging maps to silence voters, ignoring mass shootings at our schools and in our communities, driving up the cost of living while handing out massive giveaways to billionaire allies as families struggle. That's from the No Kings website.
That sounds exactly like Democrats.
Yeah.
Everything you just explained is what Democrats do.
Right.
Except you should have called them fascist Nazis.
It's just... I don't know. I mean, whatever floats their boat, man. Like people do have the right to protest and to disagree. Yeah. But sometimes you ask Troy here, like it takes a lot for me to even go to something I agree with.
Yeah, I agree. You're very skeptical of things.
Like I'm good at home, man. Like, and I've also like the city council meetings, I've had the thought of like speaking and I'm like, I talk publicly 15 hours a week.
Right.
Like I don't, unless I really have something to say to people at the council meeting. No, other people can stand up and make their voice heard.
Yeah.
But it's also, I think, a bit of another example of sort of the declining liberal boomer era, where the idea of we're going to march, we're going to protest, we're going to
pass,
and it's like y'all keep going back to that well, and it's like again, you got every right to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But when's the last time this actually made a huge difference?
Yeah, it normally doesn't. Normally it just hurts the town that it happens in, the town, the neighborhood. They're the ones that's impacted the most. They come out there with the whole idea of we're out here speaking on behalf of the people. We want the people to be served. And then at the same time, their protests usually turn into violence or riots. And then the people within the community, those small mom and pop businesses, get firebombed and looted. So how are you helping the situation? You guys are harming the situation.
And think of like for instance, the Black Lives Matter protest after George Floyd in 2020. Like, what's the only policy change that I could even give that maybe credit to is like now everybody's got body cameras. And what the irony of that is like it's often vindicating of the police.
Yeah, we see that we've been hearing about for all these years is that's the way it is.
Right. And then what were the little pink hats the ladies wore at the beginning of the Trump thing?
What was that about?
Little pink hats.
That's cute.
That make a big difference? Does that change anything? Like, and that's where I'm kind of like, unless you're actually going to put on a big show, most of this is I think a waste of time.
Kabuki theater, as we say, Kabuki theater.
Anyway, I've got to hit another break here. First, though, this part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services, and they're at Pest Pro Ashley. And that great team are ready to help you with any and all of your pest control needs. And as the seasons change, as we head into the fall and winter months, you need to watch out for those little critters that are trying to get inside.
My field mice are already coming up onto our porch and in our storage tank.
Now, of course, at Pest Pro, they do that basic pest control and all the many things we've mentioned, from mosquitoes to termite protection. They can help you with those spiders, all sorts of stuff. Maybe need to treat that wood pile before you start hauling it into the house.
Good idea.
But they also have wildlife control services.
That's great.
So when it comes to that little mouse,
or
maybe
raccoon.
something else, but
that raccoon,
wildlife or squirrel or something like that.
Whatever,
wildlife can cause property damage, increase health risk, and stress.
Yeah.
And especially if you just keep hearing bumps in the middle of the night and you're like, oh, no,
our
I
house is
can't
haunted.
afford to fix the attic right now. So here's what Pest Pro Services is going to offer you in terms of controlling that wildlife. Detailed inspections to find entry points and activity areas, exclusion work to seal off access and prevent re-entry, and then follow-up checkups to ensure long-term results. And of course, it doesn't stop at the one-time thing, like you got to get the squirrel out. They're going to do long-term prevention. Once the immediate issue is resolved, they'll focus on that exclusion, locating and sealing entry-exit points wherever they might be in your home. They focus on practical, effective solutions that actually protect your home without harming the surrounding environment. It's like just spraying chemicals everywhere. No. They're actually going to do the hard work of sealing up the place. Y'all check out Pest Pro Services today. You can always learn more at ppsriverregion.com or just search for Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces or call them direct at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services. And be sure to tell Ashley, that great team, that Joey, that fell on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. What is a smart way to buy a house in today's market? Now is a good time to buy since we now have a more balanced market than we've had in years. Here are the steps. First step, get pre-qualified with an experienced local lender. It costs you nothing to find out firsthand whether you can qualify for a home and how much that home loan will cost. Second step, hire a local realtor with lots of experience that can guide you, advise you, and be your advocate. We call those buyer agents. Third step, decide what your wants and needs have to be. Bedrooms, baths, floor plan, location, and skill zones. Fourth, ask your realtor to line up homes that fit your price category and your location needs. Fifth, start actually looking inside these homes and see what is available and the cost of each property. For all of this information and step-by-step approach, call Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. When you call Alabama Home Mortgage, from the moment we pick up the phone, you will hear the difference. We are passionate about what we do. To us, you're not just another applicant. When you call on us, you are trusting that we have your best interest at heart, and we do. We treat our customers like family, and that's why our customers turn into family, coming back to us time and time again. We know you have many options when it comes to mortgage financing, and we appreciate the opportunity to earn your business. We are excited to hear from you. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our passion is just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-368, Equal Housing Lender.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com. This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Rich Thomas Weather, brought to you by Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing. Summer is over, but the deals are hot at Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing. Just $29 service fee for all your AC and plumbing needs. Better call Clark today. Alabama certification number 09098.
Rich Thomas Weather.
On this Columbus Day, it looks like a great October weather day ahead. Sunshine in abundance and the high temperature recovering to the low to mid 80s after a chilly start. The humidity will be low. Another jacket weather night tonight with clear skies. Overnight low temperature falls to the middle 50s. I think we're a little warmer tomorrow and Wednesday and probably Thursday. We'll say mid to upper 80s for highs and probably upper 50s for lows at night till about Friday. By the way, I think we're dry through Friday, maybe a couple of showers Saturday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Elle Milner and Troy Carrico here in the studio with me. And I want to go to a clip here of one of my favorite commentators out there. I don't know his entire whole worldview, but Scott Adams. This guy has been spot on, and he views politics from a sort of detached, almost the way like somebody he is trained in hypnotism and like human psychology. So he views it in a way of like, it's not rational arguments. What we have are competing brainwashing systems. And the way he breaks things down is just intuitive and brilliant. And he's the one who called Trump. So this little lesson here from Scott Adams is called the designated liars lesson. Designated liars. Now, what exactly does Mr. Adams mean by that?
Look at the source. That's probably the best way. Is it a dependable source or not? And have they lied to you before, especially in politics? There's a group of people that I call the designated liars.
Oh, okay. That's a good term.
So there's some people that get sent out by, let's say, the Democrats when there's a whopper of a lie, like a really big hoax. And it's the same group of people. It's your Swalwell and your Raskin and Jerry Nadler
and Goldman,
for a while. Sure. So when you ever see one of those, you just know whatever it is isn't true, because they wouldn't send them out to tell the story. They're the shameless ones. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, they only sent the shameless ones out. This has got to be not true.
I think he's on to something.
I think he's too. Yeah, absolutely on to something.
Yeah, like here to survive this particular news cycle, to survive this, send out the expendables, so to speak.
That's right. Trash.
And I gotta wonder, like, how many folks got into politics, especially to be like elected members of Congress, and they're going to change the world and improve things for the better, and they realize, oh, I'm just a little pawn in some huge system.
And if you don't play the reindeer games, you don't get the reindeer prizes.
And they keep on playing. They don't. Most of the time, they don't hop back out. They don't realize
it's a pretty good gig. You get a retirement for life. You get the best investment portfolio in the world.
I mean, and I love the folks that were rewarded for going against the crowd. Like Tulsi Gabbard is now sitting pretty in the Trump administration. Same thing with Bobby Kennedy Jr. Sitting pretty, and that the left hates them for being apostates.
Fetterman could if he just makes that jump.
Katie's working on him,
but he can't because he is from Pennsylvania and coal mining.
Did you see that photo of like Katie, Britt, and Wesley with Fetterman, and they gift him a jersey, and he's holding up like he's so proud? I'm like, is this Make-A-Wish or something?
I like Fetterman. I think he's funny, man.
Yeah. What is this? No. I think they really are becoming friends. Working on him. And maybe he'll switch over. But the designated liars, that's what they do. They're just going to lie. And I really am at the point of like, I'll occasionally see a clip from like the CNN shows or whatever. But who is actually sitting down and watching like CNN or even Fox News, just
not many,
wall to wall, like 6 o'clock to 11 o'clock at night? Like, it's not me.
People maybe in like assisted living care homes.
Sure.
That's all you got to
They have no options.
Yeah.
Oh, and I forgot to tell the audience, finally broke my father of that habit. He used to fall asleep to Papa Bear O'Reilly, and he'd catch the reruns in his dreams. And I'm like, this is not good. Hannity, Lauren, this is not good for your health, Dad. And eventually he's like, I don't really watch Fox anymore. I just I'll check what you're talking about. And I'm like, well, do you check anything out? He's like, no, I'm more work on projects here. I'm like, you've learned.
Yeah, because you mentioned earlier, it's a lot of independent like journalists and talking heads that's talking about everything that the news is talking about.
Right.
And the news has got their own spin on it. And a lot of times their spin on it is going to take a lot of the truth out of the situation. So you're left with a manipulated narrative rather than just listening to regular people talk. And then at the very least, you're going to get a different side.
Right. Well, and I think it is the coin of the realm is authenticity, to where you can talk about things in a way that's maybe not perfect and like you're a true expert on everything under the sun, but you're just being honest and being yourself. And I think there's something about the old school formats, whether it's CNN or I pull up Rubio here on some of the Sunday talk shows. Every time I see this stuff, I'm like, I'm reminded, because I've been doing this for over a decade now. It used to be homework was to watch the Sunday talk shows, because that's where the conversation was being had. And now every time I see one of these things, I'm like, actually, I don't think they have any power left. Very little power.
Their magic is weak.
Instead of jumping to JD Vance talking to George Stephanopoulos, I'm going to do an audible because Lindsey Graham.
I love Lindsey.
Who is pissed. I'm so pissed right now. They spied on me.
Where's my women at?
I mean, my women are
I
always
love my
around.
women.
I
I love my women.
You know, Susan works in my office. She does some booking and stuff. And like, you know, she invited me over one night. And you wouldn't believe what she showed me.
Low cut.
No.
Just
Get your
files,
mind
the
out of the
files,
gutter.
the
I love
files.
women. What she showed me was her sourdough, how she makes her sourdough. And oh my goodness, you butter that up and grill it. Ooh, I'm Lindsey Graham and I love women. So Lindsey was on with Kristen Welker of NBC News on Meet the Press. Again, used to be what? Tim
That was
Russert?
a big show. Yeah,
Yeah, huge show.
I mean, that was it. You had to be on that. Yeah.
And then it devolved into what? David Gregory?
Yeah.
And then it went into Chuck Todd.
Now it's now we're left with this.
And so, but here's an example of Lindsey just not listening.
That crosses a line between the Justice Department being independent from the executive branch.
I think our Justice Department in the hands of Biden crossed every line there is to cross. I think within 3 days of announcing he was going to run for president in 2024, he did that in 2022.
But what about Trump?
He had
But Senator,
91
what about
indictments.
Trump? What about
Yeah. Now, I think the grand jury is going to take care of this, but you didn't care any about this. You didn't care that Letitia James made up charges that no one's ever faced.
But Senator
that Alvin
Biden
Bragg
never
made up
publicly
charges no
called
one
for
ever
Trump to
faced.
be indicted.
He had 90. Biden regretted that they didn't do it before the election. Jack Smith surveilled my phone records and 8 other senators. Jack Smith introduced his brief against Trump October the 20th.
What's he doing with the paper thing there? Where he's making a point, he got a whole stack of paper, slapping on the desk there. It's like, hey, I'm Lindsey Graham. You don't talk to me that way. You don't talk to me that way at all. Okay, I got to hear the rest of this.
Trump to be indicted.
He had 90. Biden regretted that they didn't do it before the election. Jack Smith surveilled my phone records and 8 other senators. Jack Smith introduced his brief against Trump October the 24th before the 2024 election, violating every protocol just to politicize the election. So this may bother you that people are being held accountable. It doesn't bother me one damn bit.
Do you?
All right, Lindsey.
Tell her, Lindsey. Getting fired up.
Doesn't bother me one damn bit.
Not one.
That guy.
Stop playing with it.
Okay, we will, Lindsey. We will. All right.
It's not just about sex.
Okay, that's an old school one. That's Lindsey as a
young.
congressman during the Clinton impeachment. You remember that was the line back when we lived in this controlled media world where, you Republicans just care about sex so much.
Yeah.
And like, no, he lied about it. It's not just about sex. And it's like, guys, you look back on kind of the old way we used to have a conversation. In a way, it was less deranging because everybody was kind of on the same page.
Yeah, it was controlled.
Yeah.
I remember when Clinton went back.
But I think we're in a much better world.
Listen, there was a story, and it was I saw it. It was in a Little Rock, Arkansas newspaper. It was about when he went to a prayer breakfast at a black bishop's meeting and all this, and he made the statement. You remember what he said? He goes, I didn't have sexual relations with that lady. He said, she was helping me exercise some of the devil that was in my life. And I realize that now. I'm thinking, in your pants.
Yeah.
The devil in your pants
devil
is
in
what he
your
was
pants.
doing, dude.
Good God.
I was like, are you kidding me? And they prayed over that. Sorry.
No, and like the amount of cover-ups of one
Sick.
after the other
It's
after
sick.
the other.
You know what, Joey? Even when they bring up the Department of Justice today with cash in it, I still have my doubts. I mean, there's still so much there that has to be revamped.
Well,
It's really been politicized to a point of almost you got to trash it.
Absolutely. And I'm looking at the one guy here I'm about to play, George Stephanopoulos.
Oh yeah, he got destroyed by JD Vance.
In his book, I believe he talks about how one of those bimbo eruptions happened while he's helping run the campaign. He's running comms for Clinton in that 92 campaign. And it was some story about Clinton sleeping with some woman in Arkansas.
Jenny Flowers.
And he goes, "Oh, George, she just showed up to me and flashed me. I didn't ask for it or anything like that."
Show me your boobies, and I like them
Yeah.
too.
And then Stephanopoulos was no longer working for Clinton and team when the Lewinsky thing came out.
Right.
And the way he tells it is he bought Clinton. He was willing to believe Clinton.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he saw that, he's like, damn
I'm
it.
out of here. I'm just going to kill me.
He knew that he had done it. And all the
He fell for it.
denial, ugly. But then, George Stephanopoulos gets rewarded with a sweet gig at a major news network.
He doesn't do this well.
So here's little Georgie trying to take on JD Vance. But watch how he cuts him off for commercial when Vance pushes back.
Here's, George, why fewer and fewer people watch your program and why you're losing credibility. Because you're talking for now 5 minutes with the Vice President of the United States about this story regarding Tom Homan, a story that I've read about, but I don't even know the video that you're talking about. Meanwhile, low-income women can't get food because the Democrats and Chuck Schumer have shut down the government. Right now, we're trying to figure out how to pay our troops because Chuck Schumer has shut down the government. You are focused on a bogus story. You're insinuating criminal wrongdoing against a guy who has done nothing wrong instead of focusing on the fact that our country is struggling because our government's shut down. Let's talk about the real issues, George. I think the American people would benefit much more from that than from you going down some weird left-wing rabbit hole where the facts clearly show that Tom Homan didn't engage in any criminal wrongdoing.
It's not a weird left-wing rabbit hole. I didn't insinuate anything. I asked you whether Tom Homan accepted $50,000, as was heard on an audio tape recorded by the FBI in September 2024, and you did not answer the question. Thank you for your time this morning.
No, George, I said that I don't.
Up next, we'll be right back.
Oh, sorry, we have a TV commercial.
It hurt him about the ratings, but it's
Yeah.
true. The truth hurts.
We
That's
got
right.
a TV. But I love how they use the format as the excuse. It's like we can only have a 10-minute conversation at the most.
JD Vance would eat him up.
As long as you answer the way I want you to answer,
that's right.
We'll keep the conversation rolling. But hey, you just said the complete opposite, so we're gonna go to commercial every
Good
time.
riddance that this is that form of media is dying.
I don't think it's very influential anymore, even though they do make the circuits, JD.
Oh,
and all
sure.
them, but
But you notice what they do is they constantly hammer on. I know you're losing viewership and
I think it's a great
credibility
thing.
and prestige.
That's
and all
the
this other
narrative.
stuff.
You guys suck.
Just keep hammering them on it. I think is the way to go. And Trump is doing so much all at once that it's kind of hard. Where's the attack vector for the left? And
They're so
even
disorganized.
when they bring up, say, the healthcare issue, Republicans will be like, yes, we told you Obamacare wouldn't work. And so premiums kept going up. So y'all decided to start giving subsidies that directly subsidize private insurance companies. And now the subsidies are running out. You're worried about premiums going up again. We'll have the discussion about making sure people don't get hit too hard. But it's y'all's baby that grew into this monstrosity. Y'all are the one who passed this thing. So even on that, where you would think Democrats could maybe talk a good game on give health care to people, even they're failing.
They're so disorganized. Listen, the progressive left has destroyed what remnants of any moderation there is in that party, where the Fettermans have left, the Tulsis have left. And I just think that this is, I think it's going to be a bloodbath in 2026, a bloodbath in favor of the Republicans.
We'll see.
They can't get out of their own way.
They can't. They really can't. AOC, if that's who's speaking for you, you got problems. She was a bad bartender, I heard too.
Yeah. And
She
Jasmine
wasn't very
Crockett,
good as a bartender.
Jasmine Crockett, AOC.
Oh yeah, she's
Ilhan Omar.
listen, let them keep talking.
They've got
You guys
the worst.
keep talking. Keep talking.
Jasmine running for president. I'm like, please do.
Keep talking, ladies.
Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, it's Kilroy.
Hey, Kilroy.
Hey, I don't want to be a killjoy, but talking about the legacy media is dying and everything. They may be, but don't forget that the largest generation, the boomers, are still out there.
Yeah.
And just for example, my father is in his 70s. My grandmother's 100. Okay, these people, and even younger ages, that older Gen X and stuff, they still watch this stuff and believe it, and they're still a big voting bloc, and that's why they're still hounding this propaganda, because they've been so propagandized. My dad, if you talk to him, you'd believe he was conservative, but he votes blue, straight party Democrat every time, because he all he knows is Fox News or Nazis, and CNN, NBC, CBS. That's the news. That's the real news. They're not slanted at all. That's real. There's a large block in this country that still believes that.
Oh yeah, but they are slowly but surely turning it off by the day. So I think you're right, but it also doesn't have the same power it once did. That's why I keep repeating. I think it's not just boomers, but I would say the era of the liberal boomerism is dying. And it's why so many things are being questioned these days, for better or for worse, that a lot of, say, boomers sort of said, oh, that's settled. That's the story that we're going to stick to for the rest of the time. And now younger generations actually have, other options for how to get ideas out and discuss things in the world. And we don't buy the story that y'all told this nation.
And what it always comes down to is you got to get out and vote. And those older boomers, even what do you call it, the silent generation, the people in their 50s, whatever, like, they get out and vote. People our age, Joe, we're in our 30s, we vote. Do our younger peers on the right or left, do they vote?
Well, they did in 24.
Yeah, I would say definitely on the right.
Yeah.
They are more apt to vote. On the left, not so much.
That's right. Yeah. The other way.
It's a big part of what Charlie Kirk did for Trump and team, is they got a lot of young men in particular to get out and vote.
Yep. We need it. All right, guys. Love the show. Just wanted to put in my 2 cents.
Appreciate you, man. Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is Ron. I was just calling to see if there's a traffic backup on 65 South.
I do not know. This is my first hearing of it. I can look real quick on my phone. Let's see here.
It's kind of moving real slow around the southern bypass down that way.
Yeah, I'm seeing all red. It looks like on the southbound side of 65.
All right. Well, thank you. I'm enjoying the show.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Let's hit this last break. Hopefully have Ray Bowles on the other side. Be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
New CBS Tonight.
All right, people, all hands on deck.
FBI is back.
I don't really recognize the world anymore. My team saw things, survived things.
There's something else going on here. Something bigger.
FBI, don't move!
I know what kind of people you are, and I'm not giving up. We're FBI, and we still have a job to do to protect people. Let's move.
FBI tonight at 8 p.m. on WAKA.
Lewis at the Capital Oyster Bar, and I just want to tell you, if you're in business or got an event coming up and want to do some advertising, wisely spent dollars are spent down here at Blue Water Broadcasting. All the guys are nice, easy to work with, and I see results, I guarantee you.
Blue Water Broadcasting is the #1 most listened to radio group in the River region. Find out how to put this reach to work for your business. Call us to find out how we can help. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is #1 in the #2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Life's good. Life's real good.
Good. I can't complain. We've been busy here. I forgot it was a state holiday. We're always busy on state holidays or federal holidays. Do they even have a federal holiday because it's been shut down?
Yeah, I do wonder. Is it? Well, no. Trump brought it back as Columbus Day.
Yeah,
officially.
it's Columbus Day.
Yeah, but I mean, they're all off anyway, aren't they?
Yeah, they're off for. You talk about the government being closed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you doing open?
You know what? I got
bills to
a
pay. Unlike the government. Unlike the government, right?
Yeah. If I was single, I might be off fishing right now. But
there
that's
you
not
go.
The case. That hadn't been the case for 26 years. But we ought to make some kind of Columbus Day sale. But Columbus Day is almost over, and we've always got the best prices in town. So there's no reason to do gimmicks and try to sucker you into coming in here when there's really nothing to come in and see. We always have the best pricing, the best installation, the best sales guys all the way around. I'll put my team up against anybody's team, and we're going to win every single time. So call us, 285-8117. Come out there, give you that free measurement. Next thing you know, you have a floor down.
Really is that simple, folks. Again, that number, 285-8117. When you call them up at 285-8117, be sure to tell them that, hey, I heard Ray Bowles on the radio with that Joey Clark guy.
Hey, y'all have a great day.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it, man.
Ray.
Take care.
So we got about like 5 minutes left. Did we learn anything today?
The military is going to. I just got a wire that, not a wire, but a email that's forwarded from DFAS, Defense Finance Accounting Service. They're going to pay the soldiers or sailors and airmen this week. So yeah,
that are active duty.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Well, you answered the question because I had somebody that asked me that question. So.
And it was said that someone made a comment. I think it might have been Vance that said, if anybody deserves it in the government, it's them.
Fair enough. So, like, I'm looking through. What did we go over? Oh yeah, like huge historic peace deal signed. Yeah. And all the living hostages have been returned.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to admit, I teared up a little bit at some of the reunion videos.
I did too. And there was 4 remains given over at the time. There's still another 21 accounted.
Absolutely. And still waiting on that. Shutdown politics. It feels like we've seen this movie before.
Yep.
And the Democrats are getting a lot of the blame in this regard. We also, of course, we started with this another weekend homicide in downtown Montgomery. Man found dead on Dexter Avenue there, as well as other shootings that happened over the weekend. And it's like, it's not a mass shooting in downtown, but it's, again, a reminder of the issue that continues to bedevil our city. El Milliner here, folks. And again, check out the Captain's Quarters show if you want to continue to follow him when he's doing his own work. And are you regularly at, say, the city council meetings and regularly kind of covering a lot of the city stuff?
Yeah. So if I don't make it to the city council meeting, which I try to, what I'll do is I'll make sure I watch it, listen in, see what they were talking about. Things that I know people are interested in knowing about, I'll get those clips and kind of break it down and try to keep people informed about what's going on. Because a lot of things that is happening in the city is because of decisions that are made down there at City Hall, for good or for worse.
Yeah, and folks, so y'all check out El's work. Again, that's El Milliner on Facebook and the Captain's Quarter Show on YouTube and Facebook.
That's right. Yeah, just look me up on El Milliner, Facebook and YouTube, and I'll pop straight up.
Cool. And we also learned that, maybe we should, to be informed people understanding our traditions, even atheists are saying kids should be reading the Bible in schools.
Yeah, it was something that you, when you're reading it, I kept hearing a theme of, they were relating it back to, it's written in almost in the persuasion of Shakespeare.
Yeah,
and
it's old English.
I don't know if I like that too much.
Well, I mean,
because
you don't like Shakespeare?
Because not that I don't like Shakespeare, all right, but there are certain individuals that their whole idea of debunking the Bible is that they'll say it was written by Shakespeare.
Okay.
So I don't like that theme. Yeah, I don't like that
man.
theme. There are people that are like Islamic. I've heard them say it.
That's ignorant. So
and you got to wonder, is the King James, is it written by Shakespeare or one of his contemporaries?
Yeah.
It's comparable language. A lot of the
it is, but
like in a lot of, probably the most Christian Shakespeare play is Measure to Measure.
Yeah. I would say so.
And there's a lot of the sort of guilt in Hamlet and all sorts of existential.
Well, he makes the confession, but could kill him.
But I think I've seen it in other contexts. There's a guy who claims to be agnostic or atheist or whatever, David Berlinski, brilliant guy, who used to debate the other atheists. Like he would actually stand for religion, even though he himself didn't believe a secular Jew. And he's said in many interviews that if you don't read the Old Testament, you are illiterate. That you have no foot to stand on. Like you might be able to read what the news has put out. And this is actually the advice I've given folks. I don't sit here and claim to be some Bible scholar that can cite chapter and verse. But what I find is if I read stuff like that, in particular, the Old Testament and the New Testament, but if I do also read or listen to a Shakespeare play or two, I start taking the classic things that built, that became the great literature of our civilization. When you come across the news, you almost feel much more equipped to see through a lot of the BS.
Decipher what's being said to you. And, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it helps you analyze stuff that might trick you normally. I mean, we can all be tricked.
Oh, well, we're in the world of language is everything, right? So it changes over time. We've seen that words that had meaning a certain thing 20 years ago don't mean the same thing now. Now there's new words like Riz, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
I don't even know what that means.
Don't even get me started on that. No cap.
Go to the Urban Dictionary. Right. You can find the Cleveland Steamroller there and the Baghdad gas mask as well.
Bet.
And dad bod. That's the new one too.
Dad bod.
Dad
body. Yeah.
That's just pregnant men.
Is that possible? Oh yeah.
Have you seen some of the fellas in Alabama?
When's your baby due?
The lip says it's possible. So you can be anything over there.
Well, both of y'all, Troy, thank you for being here. And y'all stay tuned. Happy hour, Greg Budell and Pamela. They're next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it